All right. Right here. Rock and roll. Chris.
Your repurposed freighter drifts through space.
Okay.
As you stare out at the
So get some
star-flecked
shout-outs
void,
here. and
another ship
boom.
comes in. Wait, is this sci-fi?
It's
I
just
thought we
me
agreed on a
hosting
World War
tonight.
II
Anna's on a
campaign.
plane
Oh,
back to California
Did we?
from Page,
that's cool. I can pivot.
but Ed will be
The
on.
smell of smoke curdles in your nostrils.
Hold
as
up, I thought we were prepping for a zombie apocalypse campaign.
All right, here's what we're doing. It's the year 3700. Humanity's elite fled to other planets long ago, taking with them all forms of advanced technology. Earth survivors scrape by with historic tools
Thanks,
as
Curtis.
weird phenomena
Sorry
plague
about that game
abandoned
last
nuclear
night.
sites. Witnesses report seeing glowing lights and the dead rising from their graves. And amidst the chaos, three strangers would meet in a dim bar. A veteran zombie slayer, a disgraced general
get
out for
like chicken
revenge,
early.
and a space
Bacon.
mercenary sent to investigate the power plants. Now describe your characters.
How did you do that?
I have the right tools for the job.
Yeah, it's Shane, man. Man, I couldn't believe how many turnovers were in the game today. Jeez. Crazy. Okay. Really feel like I'm forgetting something today, but you know, guess I have an excuse of it. My brain's fried still from the con. Alrighty.
A story once
Orlando,
spoken
my worth.
is ageless. The dungeon imagined without end.
Here comes Ed.
The curious are the ones most
We'll get started very
courageous.
shortly here.
The tree that endures has to bend. From
Hello!
stillness,
Ed!
the mage is stern.
Hi!
You and me. It feels we feel kind of naked without Anna, but she's on a plane back to California from
Zagged will
Page, you know?
test the enduring.
Oh, I'm
Those
not going
unlucky
to say what
will
leapt
never
into my
escape.
mind when you said naked and Anna.
I know, I understand that, man.
Because I'm
Sorry.
now going to be on my best behavior.
You have to be on your. Well, you don't have to be.
No.
No.
But it's just that I cannot sully our friendship with Anna.
Of course.
Yes. But I can think all sorts of things.
Yes, man. This is gonna be a fun evening.
Yeah.
So let's get through my final shout-outs here. I'll get on this here. Let's go to that.
Castle Zaggig will return.
Yes, it already has.
Yes.
So I got Chuck is so you know my sponsors are behind on their new ads. So let me put it that way.
Yeah, that's okay. It still works
Yes.
because the people who know what Castle Zaggig is go, oh yeah, and
Yes.
those that don't go, what the fuck is Castle Zaggig?
Exactly.
So the ad still works.
Absolutely. All right, let's see what we got here. Get this up. Okay, we're good.
Oh, I love all these middies in the terrain.
Yeah, that's my Gamescape 3D is such a great sponsor, great guy. It's one man show. So, you know, whenever we're at Gary Con, usually it's all his stuff.
Yeah,
He was there last year for Gary Con. He won't be there this year, unfortunately. So I got to figure out how I'm going to get all that stuff over to the con, but I think I got it resolved.
POV, I had 30 minutes before my campaign
the other
group
3D
showed
print
up, and I
company.
was totally
Hey, Rob.
unprepared.
Rob, when
I
did you
grabbed my
leave? Were
ready
you
set
there
encounter box
yesterday? I
and
didn't see
boom,
you at
everything I
Page
needed
at
for an
all
epic session.
on Saturday.
Adventure hooks,
Or
map
did I? And
tiles,
I just
loot
didn't realize
tables,
it.
stat blocks, and miniatures, all ready to go. My players still think I
just,
spent hours planning our great dragon encounter.
Yes.
If you're a busy dungeon master, get Ready Set Encounter live now on Kickstarter.
Let's bring a couple things up here. Probably won't need them.
POV, I had 30 minutes before my campaign group showed up, and I was totally unprepared. I grabbed my Ready Set Encounter box and boom, everything I needed for an epic session. Adventure hooks, map tiles, loot tables, stat blocks, and miniatures, all ready to go. My players still think I spent hours planning our great dragon encounter. If you're a busy dungeon master, get Ready Set
and then
Encounter
you left that
live
morning.
now on
All right.
Kickstarter.
Okay, cool, dude. I was thinking it was something like that, man. It's all good. Very cool. Things rolling here. I think 46. Year 46 is up there, Ed, instead of 45. Just changing it up. They're swirling.
I see that.
46s. So, okay, cool, man. Oh, good. I didn't see it all yesterday, so I was just like, because we're gonna have to talk about Ed before we start the Rob Phantom NJ incident that happened at Gary Con during the last game. It was a first. Sorry, Rob. But it was funny. And it was random. Or was it?
Or was it?
No, it was. No, it was. It was. Hey, Josh. Let's go here. Thank you for the hype. Hyping it up already. No, Gary Con is March, Rory. Gary Con is in March. So the next big thing for us here is third weekend in February. So we're gonna have to find out. Ed, are you with Genghis Khan this year in Colorado? No, you're not going.
No.
Okay. So
I still have a day job. I have to beg for time off for all that stuff.
Yes, when you hear this, Curtis, I gotta tell them. I think Ed will even appreciate that. All right, so Ed, if you don't mind, check on Thursday the 19th or February or Saturday the 21st because it's the fundraiser for St. Jude.
Thursday the 19th?
Yeah, evening or Saturday the 21st evening.
Of February.
Yes, and that'll be our big event game. And that'll be, it's called this year Abominations Abound.
Oh.
Yes.
And I will be playing Rabalantar?
Of course. Year 8 of the fundraiser for us. 8 years.
Okay.
I know, I think Lucid Genghis Khan will be able to do it this year.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad to hear you're not going to be there. Thanks, John. All right, come alive!
I should go because it's Gooey Cube's local, and eventually they'll want me to show. But
why aren't you showing here? 1 second. There we go. I was like, what the heck? Let me check on my second page to make sure that is working. Not yet. So give me 1 second here. See, this is all the technical issues I got to deal with. There we go. Okay, got this up. So this is going to be like maybe too much, I don't know, testosterone with Ed and me.
Too much Ed?
We should throw Curtis on with Fritz, and no, we better not in this discussion.
Oh, dear.
So, first thing I want to share with Ed, he knows I'm doing writing in 5th edition. Look what I had to get because I needed it just for spell reference and other stuff.
Ah!
So now I have it. So I have
excellent.
I have that with the player's handbook and the 2024 DM's whatever DM's guide
stuff.
Yes.
Yep.
For all the stuff because I want to make sure with all the weird things that we're writing and all, there's not a lot of spells out for 2024 yet. It's not like second edition where there's 3,000s and thousands of spells. There's not many. So this book,
you can just use them all, Jay.
Yes, well, yeah, too much fun with Eric Boyd's Ceronian Priest. Yeah, Rob, you played twice at Page. So, all right, here, real quick. Here's the Rob incident. He's playing Silasar, his Earth Elementalist, and this is the Friday night Slav Squad game. It's got Eric Mona. This is a Page. Eric Mona, Bones, Darling, Rob's in it, and then some open signups, right? And she's playing a Wild Mage, and it was the very last fight. It was against Fire and Ice, an Eye of Frost and an Eye of Flame. So 2 beholders, and they're doing all this stuff. And the one of the player signups got turned to Flesh to Ice, got turned to an ice sculpture, so dead basically, like instead of Flesh to Stone. So, but Darling's character Flavius is a Wild Mage, and he has the spell Alternate Reality, which is a tome of magic, which allows you to go back to the previous turn, undo something with a roll.
Right.
So he casts it. Wild Surge. So rolls a 9. Wild Surge. The spell goes off, but there's 4 players within 60 feet. Player characters within 60 feet of this character. And I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and so I rolled Silasar, and Silasar became Selena. Sex change.
Well, you get to see both sides of the tracks.
Sorry, Rob. It's still funny, man. Rob, look at his face. It's just, oh my gosh. But and then that character surged the next round too. We never had that happen back-to-back rounds. It was funny. That was Paige. We'll talk about Paige in the future. So we got Ed tonight, and look, this is an extended stream. We're gonna go over 2 hours. Ed's already given permission for it. Maybe 3 hours full, because Ed has loaded with lore tonight. So yeah. He's yeah. Dale, why should he have to change his name? He changed his name right there. He came up with Selena. No, he did. So yes, beautiful. All right. So Ed, tonight's topic was the local folklore, personalities, stories, all the stuff that's small. Like going into Hamlet and finding something out. Yeah, Kiki Burke and Hoodie. It's good to see you, man. Go into see the minutia of where the adventuring begins. So in Forgotten Realms, in the world of Faerun, like the Dale Lands, right? Small. A lot of those places start in small towns, right? Adventures, right? Okay. Well, where's some other areas in
right?
And that far that starts great starting points for entry characters. Where would you like? Oh, it's a great place.
The Border Kingdoms.
Okay.
Yeah, because somebody takes some band of adventurers retires because it's too hot for them somewhere else, and they ride up and they buy a farm or 2, or they conquer a farm or 2 with the sword, and then they take these cow pastures and they rename them the Grand Duchy of such and so, usually after themselves, and it's a new country. But it's still 2 cow pastures and a woodlot.
Right.
So
okay. Got it. So a lot of that goes around, which is cool. That's good. That's good. That's good to hear. And for us, we try and make our own new starting points. But everyone's like Hamlet, Saltmarsh. What's the other one? With Against Cold, the Reptile God. That area, all where the adventures are. Even Len's Isle.
Okay.
You
you see, Anna has given us infinite starting places in Greyhawk because she's given us these detailed maps.
True, man.
So what you do is you pick a
great point
trade road that isn't the main one, that doesn't go to the free city of Greyhawk, but it goes somewhere else, and it's in a fairly well policed area.
Yep.
Fairly, like Furiondi, just to pick one. Okay. And then you just pick an unexplored, undetailed village on that road. and all the adventure in the world is going to come past your door, caravan by caravan, peddler by peddler, pilgrims by pilgrims, walking along the road. But you can fill out that little area with whatever adventure modules you want and whatever local, and then fairly confident in the fact that if you keep things vague and don't go all hog wild on who's the Baron and who's this and who's that, or if you pick a place that is debatable, like right now, we have the Pomarge expanding into the Wild Coast, and we have that border, that is, when does it move? When does it not move? When does it move? When does it not move? So if you write something and have something in your campaign, and then something official comes out, goodness sakes, a Greyhawk official thing, and contradicts everything you've written, well, obviously things have changed since then. The fortunes of war, steamrolled the Baron you had, and there you go. So, I mean, it's very easy to do. And yeah, you can do it in both Greyhawk and the Realms. The Greyhawk is arguably easier because there are more lean places on the maps that haven't been delved into recently. So you can say things have changed during those years since.
100%, man. It's perfect. And we were talking. So we had a wonderful seminar yesterday about what's new in Greyhawk. Talk about old and new. Took a lot of questions, and a big one was, well, and we always get this, and you may get this on your Discord all the time. I'm worried about ruining canon or ruining what other people wrote when I run my game. And we're like, so what? I said to him, I started doing that in 1980 when the glossography came out. You can't worry about that. You can honor it and you can incorporate it into your game for fun, but you don't have to be worry about every little bit of minutia that's going on in the campaign, in the actual campaign setting. It's your game. You're driving crazy.
Exactly. And I mean, I built that into the Realms with the unreliable narrator. All we know about the Realms comes from people like Elminster and Volo. Volo's like among the world's biggest liars. When he isn't lying, he's exaggerating. So if something in lore says this and you don't like it, at your gaming table, instead of this, it's that. And if you have a rules lawyer sitting at the table said, but it, in this article in Dragon, it says, you go, what's Dragon? Can you show an issue to all these townspeople? Because they're standing in the middle of this lore. They live it every day. Their outhouse is right over there, and they know what to do with your issue of Dragon magazine.
Exactly. Hey, Gary, thank you. Yeah, it's but a lot. I guess I don't know if there's a fear. It's a fear. I think it's a fear of, like, especially with these, with like against Cannon Fire or Greyhawk Online or your Great Discord or whatever, that someone's going to come on and go, well, that's not the way it is, right? And you can't worry. And you know what? If someone says that to you,
yeah,
seriously.
Well, first of all, you can't win.
No, that's true.
Because I mean, I've had people argue with me up, down, and sideways about little details of the Realms. And what did I know? Well, I created that thing that you're arguing so passionately about. Yeah, but you're just the creator. And of course, they're right. I'm just the creator. Make it your own. Yeah. The history you build at your gaming table is more valuable, more grounded, more colorful to you and your players than these words that are shaped squiggles of ink on paper that if you bought an official rule book, you presumably paid some shekels for. Guess what? You paid some shekels for it. You own it now. Change it if you want. If you buy the car of your dreams, but it's only available in vomit yellow, take it home and repaint it. It's your car now.
That's right. That's absolutely right. Absolutely right. And so do a lot of you out there know that Ed's campaign and what's published in the last 20 years in Forgotten Realms are completely different, correct?
Pretty much. Yep. The geography is about the same.
Right.
But yeah, and I continually try and steer the published realms back towards my campaign just by adding new characters to it,
Yeah.
like to the published lore that are in my own campaign. But what people do with them when they start play, I mean, that's up to them. Make the game your own and don't worry about that stuff. All you have to do if you're dungeon master, or if you're a player who's reading all the stuff and cheating. No, reading all the stuff, is be mindful of the fact, oh, that's different from what happened and just bear that in mind. And that's the same as when you and I deal with the real world. And when we're in school, when we're really young, we're told things which are usually stereotypes about a country far away. Like, oh, in Norway, yes, don't they herd reindeer and they're all lumberjacks and stuff like that? And then you go to Norway and it's different. And we deal with that all the time in the real world. Or we drive to a town or a city we haven't been in for a decade, and we go to the gas station to gas up and it's not there. Somebody tore it down and built something else. We deal. Why can't we do it with the worlds of our imagination? I know we all hate change. It's human to hate change, but the hatred is that you didn't get consultant and you didn't have time to adjust to it. So consider this practice in adjusting for stuff that doesn't matter. If someone in your family dies, as we all do, you don't have a choice about that. You have to deal with that. But if it's something imaginary, the cost is less. You're just having your dreams tramped on, which is a horrible thing, I agree, but it's not the same as losing a real person that you can't bring back. And you don't have a chance to tell them you love them anymore because they're gone. Or you don't have a chance to repay them the $5 you owed them, or tell them, I've forgiven you for that, because they're no longer there to hear you. If it's an imaginary thing that we do at the gaming table, the cost is less. So revel in the chance to change things.
Absolutely. Don't be afraid of it.
Mm.
Also, don't be afraid of playing in whatever edition you want to play your setting in.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think Ed has any problem if you play Forgotten Realms in Shadowdark, or
No.
Castles and Crusades, or
No.
OSC, or 3rd edition, or 4th edition, or 5th edition. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, just don't ask me to DM 4th edition, because I'll be saying, okay, is that the tank? Because I can't remember all the terminology. But if you just say, tell me a story, or let's D&D, I may D&D in AD&D rules, but give you advantage and disadvantage, which I swipe from 5e because I think it's a good mechanic. You know, yeah. And if somebody says, well, actually, I'm playing a 2024 Eldritch Knight because I get these things. Okay, just remind me at the moment of play where you're going to pull your special power thing, what the special power thing is, because I'm old, see? And I forgot because I didn't write that rule. You know.
All right, let's get to some. Before we get to the new lore, we know
Yes.
we all saw your interview. Do you have autonomy on those 4 new books that are coming out?
No. Oh, the Realms Bound ones?
Yeah.
No. I am writing the forwards.
Okay.
And I am lore consulting on all of them, which
Okay.
basically means if somebody's writing a section and they want my input, they'll email me, or they'll Discord me, or they'll go through Eric or Savannah. Eric Mengi is sort of, how do I put it, office manager for this.
Okay, cool. So he's overseeing it. Okay. Well, it's good to hear.
Now, he used to do the Moonshades for Adventurers League.
Right.
And when he retired from that, Savannah took over, and she's the number 2 on this.
Okay. She's
doing the publicity and stuff. And between the two of them, they're keeping the trains running on time and consulting on all of these things. And everybody who's involved in this Realms Bound thing, we have some new artists, we have some veterans. We have Stephen Shend, who used to be the traffic cop for the Realms in the TSR days. We have Eric Scott DeBee and other fiction writers and game designers from official products. And Tom Costa, who's been behind the scenes writing lore for years. Brian Cortijo, people like that, experts on the Realms. And Eric is coordinating things, and within the strict limits of word counts here and deadlines there, everybody's gets the chance to be creative. I'm not going through it saying, you can't do this, you can't do that, because I want to see what they come up with. And I know they're going to respect the lore because that's the approach they're taking. I mean, people are jumping in the Discord and saying, oh, yeah, you remember on page 113 of this source book 30 years ago, so-and-so said this. We have to square that with what you want to write.
Okay. So these are not official WotC books. Are they published by Baldwin?
No, they should be published at the Guild. They should be
Guild. They're DM's Guild approved.
Yeah, print on demand and PDF. So like the one I just did, the Souls thing, everything will be ready for print on demand and PDF when they launch.
Okay.
And they will be approved for content by DM's Guild.
Who's the official publishing company? Is it Baldwin or is it?
I think it's Mythmakers.
Mythmakers. Okay. All right. Okay. Because my confusion came out when I saw someone's an article where someone said right now WotC has no official D&D books come out in 2026. I said, well, Ed's got 4 of them.
Okay, wait a minute.
Okay, I got it.
A, they're not official, and B,
right.
People should stop freaking about that.
Right.
It's not that WotC doesn't have any official books coming out. It's that they haven't announced the lineup yet.
Exactly.
That's a different thing.
Let's hope that they're announcing something else too, Ed.
I happen to know, without breaking any NDAs, that there are going to be books coming out, because I happen to know that certain people have been contracted to do creative things for those books. Those people have signed NDAs. I have also signed different NDAs, and one of the things I do is I don't out people because I don't leak. That's what we have company spokespeople for, to leak things when the company wants them leaked and not before. So I'm just because they haven't said anything official is coming out doesn't mean there isn't anything. Number one. Number two. Yeah. And those 4 books, and there'll be 4 a year on different regions.
Fantastic.
The Dale Lance is the first, and I understand from Eric that the plan, and from Savannah, that the plan to announce the second region or area of the realms will be Gen Con. This coming Gen Con in 2026. They'll announce where they'll go for the next 4 books. And each time it's going to be a regional guide, an overview, an insights book, which details some inns you can stay at, a delves book, which has some little mini dungeons, and an adventures book, all set in the same area. I have seen some of the art, and they will be showcasing some more of it, and it is gorgeous.
That's beautiful. Awesome. Okay, now I got that all worked out.
Yeah.
Good to hear.
And they're not my books. I want you to know that.
Right.
They are Ed approved of, very much so.
Right.
But you're only getting Ed writing when somebody asks me to contribute something and I wrote something, and then they will.
Faye,
yeah.
Faye book.
Yeah. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That cleared up a lot of it. I appreciate that. Yeah, they got Ed tamped. That's funny. Yes, and I got to watch what I say, Ed. You know that, and that's tough for me. But we're hopefully at Gen Con we're going to have an announcement.
Jay cannot talk about his new line of scratch and sniff, squeaky toys set in a new fantasy realm, totally unofficial, not affiliated with Wizards of the Coast, but you could play D&D in it, in which, all those plastic piggy banks that your grandparents had that you actually smashed with a hammer to get the coins out? Well, it's going to star a whole bunch of those animated in a
let's just say there's good things coming for both of the settings we're talking about tonight. How's that? Right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that's safer.
Yes.
Safer than where I was going.
Yes.
I was going Pez dispensers, but then of course we'd have to get legal permission for that and license it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun year. And
Yeah.
Paige was awesome. Um, I'm just saying, Culture, I'm glad you and your daughters had a fun page. And I just did something to my screen here, and I screwed something up. Well,
Ah,
Culture, I was trying to send you something, I messed it up. So on a message, but I'm glad you and your daughters had a good time and thank you for playing my game on Thursday. By the way, so Eric Boyd was able to slip into my game Thursday night, which is great. So
excellent.
yeah, so Telegord played on Thursday because he couldn't play Saturday because they scheduled his game at the same time. So I squeezed him into the game Thursday night, which was fun. So
Okay, and he didn't die, right?
he did not try. He tried to. He
Okay.
tried to die, but he did not die. Nope. We had some.
I
Yeah.
I have an idea for Eric's to write a novel, a totally unofficial novel that will publish at the Guild in 20K segments, and it'll be called Keeping Hieronymus Waiting.
Yeah, he was talking it up with some of the other characters, trying to convince them. There was another specialty priest. And he was trying to convince them to look his way. But it was fun. We had a good time. It was good to it was good to see him playing in the game.
Yeah,
And everyone managed to stay alive. So all
that's
right,
great.
yes, yes. But it was good to see Tony and Jeremy played. We had Eric Mona playing, Darling Bones, Rob. We had a whole crew there and some really great sign-ups. So, yep.
Lovely.
Yep. Yeah, thanks to Telegord, Gom, and that's Rob's Barbarian, isn't sure whether Heronius is real, whether he's secretly a god of chaos, or if he just hates Telegord. Oh, that's right. So he failed, and how many times did he fumble, Rob? He fumbled like 3 or 4 times, failed like 4 saving throws. Yes. Yeah, that's true, man. I forgot about that. He did.
Okay, I
Yeah.
think we have to buy Eric new dice. I think at every convention, just to roll with.
He didn't come with his dice. I lent him my son's.
Okay. Okay.
He forgot it because he came over and it's like, oh, I'm just wandering around. I just wanted to see. I didn't sign up. I said, Eric, what are you doing now? He's like, no, I'm not doing anything the next 3-4 hours. I was like, well, you're playing. I got room. I got a
Yeah.
spot. He's like, oh, really cool. I even bought your
Nice.
sheet and your mini in preparation
Yeah.
for this. So there you go. I was ready. Yeah, it was good to see. It was good to see.
Excellent.
So local lore tonight. Some Realms local lore and some Greyhawk local lore. All new?
Yeah, all new.
All new lore. You all ready for it? We'll get the compilations on it. I will put the Ed local lore as I do always into a compilation with some local lore from Altamira stuff and put it into an article into the Greyhawk Journal or
Excellent.
Visions, whichever one of those magazines is up next. So, like we always
I will
do.
send them your way. Yeah.
Yes. And it's a lot of fun there. So, is there a release date for the upcoming new Dayland source book? That is, yeah, we just said that Q1 2026. So it'll be right after GaryCon, maybe. Your first book, Dayland.
Yeah, I'm thinking April, but
Yeah.
I mean that's not the people producing it talking. That's me guessing. Okay.
Yes, that's Ed being very like, if Ed was running it, it'd be done.
No.
Okay.
No. You see this thing that I've been talking about?
Yes. Oh yeah, that's awesome.
It came out 2 days ago.
Right.
I finished writing my bit in August. So it takes time to do the art direction, get the art, do the layout, do the proofreading, rewrite down to size, all this stuff. So you think you're done. And Volo's Guide to Orm-Per, we finished the writing and the design on that 4 years ago now. It still hasn't come out.
Wow.
So so there are gaps that happen.
Okay.
That's why I write at top speed, because I'm fast, and everybody else, because they're careful, is slow. It's the same as when you're driving on an interstate. The guys who are really fast are way more dangerous than the people who are being careful.
Right.
But the people who are being careful take longer.
Hey, that book's on DM's Guild, right?
This thing?
Yeah.
Yes. This is number one on DM's Guild, I think, right now.
Souls for the all right, yeah. If someone in chat would link that off DM's Guild, that would be awesome, please. So you guys can all check it out. Very cool. Awesome. Another great ed publication there.
Okay, and just to tell people so they know what they're getting for that one, there is a legal limit to fiction at the Guild. You can only publish 20,000 words, a novella. Right. So the front of this is a novella, and the back is all the lore, the realms lore, for places, people, and things that were in the fiction in the front.
Oh, cool.
Including the best, largest write-up of the city of Skordubel that has ever been done.
Fantastic.
So far.
Thanks, Treasure here. There we go. Thank you very much for doing that. So we have that, and excellent. You can get it in soft cover too, and you get PDF and soft. You might as well get a PDF and soft cover together. It's only $2 more. Get both.
And for that, I don't have a finished one because guess what? Wayne took them all to Wizards of the Coast to hand them out. Okay, so this is a teaser, and it's just stapled.
Right.
The actual book is perfect bound, like glued together, and it's 150-page signature, 147 of them with printing on them. So nice. It's like a 6x9 book, 147 pages of stuff.
That's beautiful. Hey, Curtis, your late night drinking buddy at Gary Con, is asking what year is that book for?
1501 DR, Year of the Shining Missile.
There you go.
And guess what dating those 4 Realmsbound books are? 1501 DR, Year of the Shining Missile.
Beautiful. Yes. And 576. There you go.
Yes. And by the way, if you wave around those 2 new Forgotten Realms hardcover WotC books that just came out, they are also dated in 1501 DR, Year of the Shining Missile. Yeah, it's almost like a conspiracy, folks. No.
It's a good kind of conspiracy, though, as opposed to bad kinds of conspiracies, which we all can't stand. So yes. So where do we start? Let's start with a Forgotten Realms lore. Which one do you want to go to?
Okay, Forgotten Realms. Let me start with Small Town Tales.
Beautiful.
So, Small Town Tales can be anchor adventuring opportunities for a rural region. To pick a place at random, let's look at Skulton. Skultan, Skulton, which is a way-stop town on the Way of the Manticore trade road in Sembia between Derlune and Hodag, just east of Cormyr. The time is now 1501, the year of the Shining Missile, and Skulton is expanding rapidly as Sembia continues to rebuild. In part, this is because the gnomes, who have long dominated this former village, are making coin hand over fist these days, making harrows, rakes, and plows for farmers for horse-drawn and ox-drawn use, and because these particular gnomes are innovators who continually improve hand pumps to supply water to households from wells and cisterns and to help irrigate farm fields. Skulton has grown so much that it used to lie north of the trade road, only its tallest lookout tower in sight of the paddocks where caravans would stop over, but it now lies on both sides of the trade road, and its population has swelled from about 480 gnomes and 220 some humans in 1370 DR, which is when we last got a write-up for it, to some 690 gnomes and over 700 humans today, with a smattering of elves and dwarves. Skulton has always felt like a border town between Cormyr and Sembia, a place where bulk cargoes were bartered and transshipped, currencies exchanged, beasts of burden bought and sold or traded, and wagons and carts repaired. Well, it's still all of those things, but increasingly, it's also a warehouse Hi.
I need more coffee, and since Anna's not here, I'm
Yeah.
not going to leave my seat like I normally do.
Right,
Since
right.
my wife's going to give me more coffee. Sorry, everyone.
Excellent. No problem.
I just,
Where currencies exchanged, beasts
hey,
of
Bill.
burden bought and sold or traded, and wagons and carts repaired. It's still all of those things, but increasingly, it's also a warehousing town where non-perishable goods are stored until transport onward costs are low and prices that can be fetched at the destination are high. And it's also a crafting center where the pumps and agricultural implements are made. Any such settlement, of course, has its opportunities for thefts and corruption, windows for swindles, and fugitives passing through from one realm to the other. Drovers and caravan guards are for hire here. Hard hands, which is the local term for cargo loaders, work here nigh constantly, and some businesses never close. The character of such a place, from near lawless to almost an army camp, is set by local rulership. Are there lots of patrols? Are some lawkeepers mounted and able to move fast? Or skilled at archery and so have a good striking reach? Are any of them led by or assisted by clerics and wizards who can cast battle spells? Well, in Skulton's case, as the 1500s DR begin, there's a strong local rule, a high mayor, one word, high mayor, elected from among Skultana, the town residents. But the winners of elections are almost also town property owners. They don't have to be, but the people who stand for the office usually are, who happens to be diligent about posting sentinels and paying well-equipped internal, in-town, patrols and wide out into the countryside to watch for brigands, prowling, hungry monsters, and other perils, patrols. The gnomes are both more politically active and more organized than the humans, and so they usually sway the vote. More of them bother to vote, and more of them cluster their votes behind just a few candidates. The result of this is that the High Mayor is almost always a gnome, and the elected council that advises the High Mayor and votes on major policy decisions, any decisions where more than routine monies will be spent, tends to be a majority of gnomes. The High Mayor is almost always male, terms are for 3 midwinters, and the councillors, whose shared title is Speaker, so every councillor is known as a Speaker, tend to be around 2/3 female because there are more gnome women who want to decide what's going on in their local community. The wide patrols are mounted on horseback, are 14 strong, and carry daggers, short sword, lances in saddle rest, and crossbows with quivers of 21 bolts each. They tend to be human dominated. The internal patrols are 12 strong, on foot, carry cudgels and short swords and daggers, and are a motley racist mix of former soldiers and former adventurers. Both sorts of patrol wear helms with chin straps, carry bucklers they seldom use, and wear back and breast plate armor over leathers. They are reasonable and easygoing, keeping the peace more than policing, and are liked and trusted by the populace. In 1501 DR, the High Mayor is the male gnome smith Haravan Lowbuckle, neutral good, fighter 3, known for his huge nose, his wide smile, and his let's just all get along and make lots of money. Don't break, don't steal, and don't pay attention to the politics and troubles of Cormyr or Sembia or anywhere else. All are welcome here. Policies. The most popular speakers who might challenge him for office next election are the beautiful human baker Luvella Tanith, neutral evil human female fighter 1, who's a paid spy for the Zentrum and Assembian merchant cabal. There are rumors about her friendliness with Zent merchants, but thus far this has been dismissed as a personal romance matter, not an affiliation thing. And the gruff, fat, ugly old dwarf Ogrol Hammerfist, the first dwarf to ever be voted onto council, who's a no-nonsense, suffer-no-fools pragmatist who wants sewers built, deep wells dug, granaries established so Skelton can feed itself to the worst of howling winters and better roads. And now, finally, out from behind all this long-windedness comes comes Skelton's local tale that's of interest to adventurers: the lost treasure of Philidor Gravar. Sambia has always had a self-styled nobility, drawn from the richest of its merchants who managed to acquire wealth and keep it for 4 or more successive generations. House Gravar was one such, but under the Netherese rule and the depredations of their hired mercenaries, particularly after the fall of Thultanthar and in the chaos that followed, the Gravar family was reduced to a lone survivor, the studious, introverted Philidor, who fled to Cormyr in 1487 DR with the portable family wealth, in the form of a fortune in gems and gold. Or tried to. He never made it as far as Cormyr, but only to Skelton. Betrayed by his own hired mercenary guards, he desperately used some purchased magic items to defend himself, causing explosions that slew most of the guards and opportunistic thieves skulking after him, and set 2 adjacent homes in northeastern Skelton ablaze, but left him sorely wounded. He feverishly purchased half a dozen surrounding homes, paying ridiculously high prices for them so their owners would be delighted to move out with precipitous haste. He hid the family treasure, then distributed tiny pieces of the most precious magic item he owned throughout all of the non-burning houses. It's a pectoral of the sort worn by rich ladies to dazzle at feasts and revels. In other words, jewelry that covers their bosom with gleaming jewels set in intricate precious metal wire settings, that is magically asleep if disassembled. But find all the pieces and put it together correctly, and a magical gate will form in midair, leading to an otherwhere, believed to be a large mountain cavern in the White Peaks, northwest of Whitehorn, where the treasure was hastily dumped. Philidor tore the pectoral apart, hid all of its pieces as best he could, then staggered off in search of healing he could buy. He's said to have found it among the gnomes, paying handsomely, so is thought to have survived, but then disappeared. Kidnapped by treasure hunters, some say, tortured to death for the secrets of the treasure, others claim, or, and local gnome families stoutly believe this last thing is the truth, spirited away from Skelton by gnomes he hired to guide and hide him. So he's either dead or alive and hiding in or near Skelton or somewhere else. What is clear is that if Philidor got back to his treasure, he didn't do so by means of the pectoral, for a local adventurer named Osler Morayan found one of its pieces, only to be murdered by another treasure hunter while combing another of the houses for more pieces. Dying, Osler cursed not his slayer, but all of the pieces of the pectoral to bring misfortune and to hide themselves further, so neither his body nor that of his murderer, whom he slew with the last desperate spell, had pieces of the pectoral on them when found. The fabulous treasure may well still lie in a cold cavern far from Skelton, but with the magical means of getting there in a single stride, scattered around a particular neighborhood in town. Gnomes will guide you there right now if you'd like, for modest fees, of course, but won't go inside to help you search. They believe in the curse, which they swear has claimed at least 70 lives since Osler made it in 1488 DR. Tales of wealth grow in the telling, of course, but Skultana, who saw some of it, say that the golden gems filled, quote, a small wagon, unquote. So it was a large fortune, not a small one. Nor, should it be said, in a border town where money changes hands and smuggling betimes goes on, is Philidor's treasure the only locally hidden treasure. Skelton hides much more.
Nice.
So there you go.
Look at all
That's
that from just wow. My gosh, man, the pros you have.
I just make shit up. That's all I do.
So there's a portal still possibly available. Is that what I heard in there?
Yeah, yeah.
Love it.
If you assemble the pectoral,
Right.
all of its pieces correctly, then a gate forms, and that gate will take you to northwest of the Moonsea, north of Zental Keep, near Whitehorn on the Realms maps, which is where he dumped the treasure. He hid it somewhere. And I mean, it's pretty easy to hide something in the wilderness. You just dump rock on top of it. When you're in the middle of hundreds of miles of a whole lot of nothing.
Nice. So that is interesting. Lots there for the FR person who wants to, and it sounds fairly lower level. It doesn't have to be, that's a great thing. That's a great thing with it. What's up, Tim? Yes. So, by the way, as you know, I'm big into portals lately as well. Just loving me some portal stories, especially in the Lord Mills and around. I got some really unbelievable looking portals at Page that were, oh my gosh, were these, and they're beautiful, absolutely gorgeous stuff from Thunderstruck from Mike Sack.
Well, I will be mentioning the Lort Mills tonight.
Oh yes, beautiful. That's awesome. That's only one of 6, everyone. One of 6. So any questions up to this point for Ed? A lot going on in chat there. So I think I had one from in let me see here. This one's out off of what might as well. All right, just because I'll forget. Here's a question from Doom Prophet. Given that Erevan is one of Elstray's greatest allies, does he have followers among the Drow? Can you tell us more about them and the cooperation between the two churches look like?
Ooh, the cooperation is very covert because there are some people of the surface world who aren't. They're still prejudiced,
Right.
as in they don't want anybody to be helping the Drow, and they don't, oh yeah, there's some Drow now who say they're good. I don't trust them myself. In other words, they don't want you to have anything to do with it. And even worse, Lolth wants to be the deity of all Drow, and she acts against anybody who is out from under her thumb. And so that's the main reason that the cooperation between the two priesthoods is very behind closed doors, on the down low, covert. Can I tell you more about individual priests, temples, congregations? Not without running hard and fast in some NDAs, some of which were just discussed earlier today
Really?
on
Wow, what
Greenwood
an irony.
Yeah.
What an
Well,
irony.
we all chase the same horses. That's the thing.
So, Gary Julian, the legend himself, writer of this wonderful. Oh, it's buried somewhere. Up here. First name on this one. Right, Gary Julian, right there. Puffin Smasher in chat. Can you ask Ed if there are any other dating conventions / calendars in the realms? So, like, you know how there's like 12 different calendars in Greyhawk, the Elven calendar, the Soul calendar. Yeah. Are there other calendars besides the standard?
There are dozens.
Okay.
And in the early realms, like the original Grey Box set, we laid out 3 or 4 of them. If you go to the right entry online in the FR Wiki and you type in Dale Reckoning, you should, unless they've changed the page, I haven't looked at it recently, they should have a thing where it says Dale Reckoning equals this in such and such reckoning equals this in such and such reckoning. But for ease of convenience, TSR decided long ago that we were going to settle on Dale Reckoning for the published products, so that to minimize confusion amongst gamers. In the same way that they set about eliminating duplications of names. For instance, there's one that survives, Torm the Thief from the Knights of Mythdraenor, and Torm the Deity.
Okay.
Now, I had a lot of people who were named after the deities in the same way that because I was 5 or 6 years old when JFK was shot. And I saw the number of young males in the United States of America who received Kennedy as a second name, sort of in honor.
Right.
So I thought, oh yeah, I'll put that sort of thing into the realms. That's logical. People would do that. So and then TSR pruned them back out to avoid confusion. I also had a demon called Ashtaroth and a devil called Ashtaroth. And if you didn't do your summoning just right, you got the other one. And the other one arrived uncontrolled. And TSR, of course, wanted to downplay that completely because that was the time of angry mothers from heck and Satanism, and they did not want to have detailed depictions of summoning rituals in the game. So I was able to give all those ladies, all those candles, and all those altars some free time off and vacations in warmer places in the world because we didn't write the stuff and put it into Dragon Magazine.
So let me join some of these together here. Hot Gyro asks, where do I start when I want to, like, if I want to start with Forgotten Realms? And then Sideclicks, like, where was your initial inspiration? And you did this as a kid. D&D didn't exist when Forgotten Realms was
That's right.
created.
Yeah.
He was
I
a
was
kid.
5 years old.
He's
Yeah.
using his imagination as a kid.
Yeah. I'm writing stories to entertain myself.
Yep.
Okay. D&D doesn't exist for another decade. Now, if I was starting play in the realms right now,
Yep.
I would say use the 2 new books, the 2024 books. Okay. If you can cool your jets for about 2 months of preparation, and those 2 months you should spend on who's my first set of villains going to be? Who's my first opponents? Yeah. Yeah, use that. Okay. Wait until the first Realmsbound book comes out because it covers the Dales as an overview. Pick one of the smallest Dales that's detailed the least. I think Freedale is in there, but pick one of the ones that isn't Shadowdale, okay, and probably isn't Mistledale because Mistledale has a nice central business district with a beautiful map and everything, and then that's a place you can go to. Have your players be young teenagers who want adventure, and because their parents can't feed all the mouths at home, their parents are fine with them going away to find adventure. Yep. Start it that way. Start it small. Don't worry about the mountains of lore. Exactly. If you need to look something up, there's this thing online called the FR Wiki, and as long as you can spell, it will find in the search function what you need. And just don't worry about it. Start small and give your players a good time. Give them a good story. What matters is their story, not all the lore. And if you get something wrong, too bad. Don't worry about it. Guess what? The world will not end.
Or you can do like a bad television show and you can edit it. No one will care.
Yeah.
It's like it's like Chuck from Happy Days, the first season.
Yeah.
He just disappears.
Yeah. Yeah. Just start small. Do what you want to do. Yes, and absolutely. Everything else will take care of itself. Don't worry about buying mountains of lore. Those first 2 hardcover books, plus the Realmsbound regional guide to the Dales, should be enough to get you going. And goodness knows, there is enough free stuff out there. And if you're unsure about anything, join my Discord, the Greenwood's Grotto, and just ask somebody. It's all broken up into sub-channels geographically. Like if you want stuff on Chult, it's got its own channel. If you want stuff on Sembi or Cormyr, they've all got their own channels. You just click into the channel and you ask somebody. You say, hey, newbie here, where would I find coverage of X? And probably a half a dozen people will jump in and tell you. So just don't worry about it. Do not be cowed by the mountains of lore. That's my job.
That's right. So, by the way, everyone, this is a fun show tonight. We are going late tonight. Just Ed and me. We're going late. We've already planned for it. We're going to run late on purpose.
Lord's Peak After Dark.
That's right. Gabbin, Lord's Peak Haven After Dark. So it'll be fun. Probably not, Michael. There's probably not a lot of Greyhawk talk on Ed's site. It's okay though. Cannon Fire has all you need.
Oh, there's a channel for Greyhawk on the Grotto.
Oh, is there?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow, did not know that. Well, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on there, Michael. I'm on that
and
site.
Eberron, all sorts of things. Yeah. We will talk about it. But again, if you want in-depth stuff, they will direct you to the Greyhawk sites.
That. Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we're all gamers here. It's not a competition.
No, absolutely. We're all in it together now and trying to make sure that things move in a positive direction in 2026. We're all happy at the end of the year.
As one of my lady gamers once said to me, we're all trapped in the same gelatinous cube, Ed. So don't stop swimming.
Anyway. Let me see if I don't think I can do a link to Ed's. I'm a member, but I don't know if I can do a link to it. Hold on one second. Maybe I can. Let me see if I can. I don't have invite capability because I'm not what do you call it?
Just go to Discord and type in Greenwood's Grotto.
Yep, it's Greenwood's Grotto, and let me see here if I can. Oh yeah, I can. All right. Oh my gosh. All right. So for example, here we go. Michael Z, you just got an invite to Greenwood's Grotto from me. If you are linked to me on Discord, I can invite you. Okay. So there, Michael, you just got an invite. Zudrak did. So if you are, regularly talk to me on Discord, you get my shout outs, send me a message. When I see it in between when Ed's talking lore here, I can do that. It takes 5 seconds, but you got to send me a message. There you go. So Michael, let me know if you got that. So, all right. One more question, then we'll continue on the lore. What's your favorite character ever made? It's got to be one of the Seven Sisters.
Oh, my favorite character in the realms? Well, I usually don't pick favorites for the very good reason.
Yeah.
It's like being asked which of your children is your favorite when they're all standing there. Okay. I am partial to Storm Silverhand, yes, of the 7. But for various features, I am also attracted to a lot of other characters, particularly characters who've been brought to life by my regular players, like John Hunter portraying Florin Falkenhand.
Oh.
Because then his portrayal of that character makes it come alive for me. And again, all of them have their own little details that I like. Mert, for instance, is basically Falstaff, and I have fun when I want somebody to say something surly and then fart and belch and stuff. Mert's my guy,
That's awesome.
What was that thing that Mike Tomlin just said? If my aunt had male parts, she'd be my uncle.
Yeah,
it's that thing. It's what you want at that precise moment in the character. That's my favorite.
True. Great point. All right, Greyhawk lore coming here on this one. Town?
Mm-hmm.
Doing town? What do you think? Whichever one you want to do.
Sure. Let's do them in the same order, like we did.
Yep.
We did the small town, so let's do the small Greyhawk town.
Small Greyhawk town. Here it comes, brand new.
So, come with me to scenic Valuna.
Beautiful.
Valuna is a theocratically ruled by the canon of Valuna, a priest of Rael, who is advised by a college of bishops, human-dominated farming land. The ironwood, the dapplewood, and the Asnath copse are the only remaining forests of note. Now, no one goes hungry, or they shouldn't go hungry, in Valuna. Food crops are seldom meager, and the government maintains granaries, often crammed to the rafters with rye and barley. There are also copper, silver, and gold mines in the Cron Hills that the ruling clergy watch over the smelted output of, taking a tithe, from which they mint local coinage. So Valuna can buy all the spices and exotic foodstuffs it needs. Life in Valuna can be good. The Lort Mill Mountains are a source of recurring raiding monsters when food up in those heights gets scarce. But the folk of Voluna rightly feel that they dwell in a safe country where marauding monsters and raiding bands of aggressive sentients, including outlaws or bandits, are few and not widely feared. Both the most lightly gnome-dominated parts of the Cron Hills and the Lort Mills can be considered wilderlands and are described in various adventuring sources. But what of Voluna proper, the land of farms under the sway of priests of Rao, the Flan god of peace, reason, and serenity? What small-scope local stories, heroes, and adventure plot arcs could be met with in pastoral Voluna? Well, there's the eternal three-part struggle for more coin. For farmers versus middleman merchants wanting more as they transport farm crops to large settlements versus heavy purse big merchants in those settlements wanting more money for themselves. In Voluna, the cities are Mitrick, over 16,000 folk, and Voluna City, over 11,000. There's also the town of Devarnish, around 8,000 inhabitants. All of these urban merchants want to procure food as cheaply as possible and may well employ a little persuasive muscle to do so. The ruling priests want their tithes from everyone and also want stability in the realm, and these frictions persist in an ongoing manner. So, if I'm a slightly unscrupulous big city merchant, I can charge a lot more if I have supply, but there's a real or perceived shortage. If I covertly, via middlemen fronting for me that I can deny all connection with, for example, several separate merchants based in various places in neighboring Furiondi, hire some down-on-their-luck adventurers to become brigands and wreck and burn the wagons of a few caravans of parsnips, beets, cabbage, carrots, leeks, onions, and radishes, after snatching away the wagon contents in wagons of my own that go to my warehouses. I can create sudden shortages that I can benefit from by selling the now rarer foods at higher prices. If I overdo this and sow widespread fear, I may provoke the ruling clergy to mobilize armies and stiffly increase regular patrols. However, if I keep things small and sporadic, this tactic is an annoyance that might, in the minds of the authorities, rate, to end it, hiring adventurers and bolstering road patrols in an area. And while I'm but an annoyance, I can, on the streets and in the taverns, blame the government, the clergy, for any high prices and for their failure to keep the peace and guaranteed our common safety in Voluna. So that's one prime mover of recurring skirmishes right there. But what if we add corruption? Mayors and other local rulers, perhaps a road patrol leader or two, or even a priest or two who's been installed to keep an eye on local soldiery and leaders to curb their corruption, but instead makes covert common cause with them. There's an entire mini campaign here. The player character adventure is as the hired dirty tricks band for such Sheriff of Nottingham type villains. Or, to spin it around to the good side of such disputes, what if there's a vulnerable local cleric in a specific rural locale in Voluna who wants good to prevail but dare not call in reinforcements for fear of being denounced or demoted or thought incompetent by rivals or superiors? So they hire the player character adventurers to shut down these raids on caravans. So the PCs end up fighting the caravan raiders rather than being the caravan raiders. And the larger plot arc here is that we have cynical veteran adventurers who want to retire from dangerous adventuring forays to their birthplaces in Voluna and would love an easy job that will give them comfortable incomes without overmuch risk or a dog-exhausting schedule. They hit upon the notion of being hired by these pacifist clerics to be muscle against local bandits and other troubles, like these caravan raids. But perhaps they're covertly behind a few of the raids to win themselves work. See, it's dead easy to spin adventurers out of nothing except common sense and human nature.
Yes, absolutely. Good public speaker, Cosmic, a little bit better than it gets. Ed is fantastic. Man, it just rolls right off. And you've written it, and the thing that amazes me is Ed has this written down, but he only has to look at it one time. Do you have what's it called, didactic memory? Where you just
Nope.
see it?
No, I just have a large shovel for the bullshit. I used to get in such trouble in public school. I'd sit at the back of the class, and when the teacher was going wah 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 wah, and we thought we'd had enough, we would just mime with our hands, digging in shovels and like this, and the whole back row would be there with it, and the teacher would look up and go, "You can stop that right now." And we'd dust off our hands and put our shovels away. But if they got too long-winded later on, we get them out again. And the teachers with a sense of humor learned, okay, I'm getting too long-winded. I'm losing the crowd because they got the shovels out again. The ones that had no sense of humor or had to be in control, the thin-skinned ones never learned. But the smart ones, when they saw the shovels coming out, they say, okay, I'm speeding it up, guys.
That's awesome. All right, I want to share in between, as we got 4 to go, so we got a nice moving right along here.
It's giveaway time.
Well, I want to share something that someone gave to me.
Ooh,
all right, so we had one thing I love about Page is Saturday morning there's a flea mart, and it starts at 8, and you got to get in there early to get some deals. Now I got some unbelievable deals. I'm going to share my pile real quick, and then, well, first off, Jeremy Asherlier, Jeremy and Tony Winslow Brill's fiance, who is part of True Drink Minimum. Rylan fumbled like he fumbled like 4 times within an hour. It was insane Saturday morning. He got me these, which are 3rd edition, I believe, both. Found them. Is that a Dr. Pepper, man? I don't know. I think you're a Coke guy, aren't you? What do you normally drink, Ed? What do you normally drink? Oh, you do drink Dr. Pepper. Okay. So
I'm diabetic, and this stuff tastes the most like the real stuff.
Okay. There you go.
Whereas with Coke and Pepsi, otherwise I drink Pepsi Zero.
Okay.
When I can't get this.
Cool. Excellent. There we go. Dave Arneson's Blackmore, and he gave me, and there you go. The Dungeons and Castle Blackmore. And thank you for finding these. And getting them to me. Yeah. 3rd edition, I believe both of these are. One's by Goodman Games and one's by Zeitgeist Games. So all D20s, but it was really cool. I really appreciated that, man. Very kind. And then real quick here, most of it's D&D. Ed Stark, who was there, I got this one's like $5. Birthright, Legends of the Hero Kings. Let's show these real quick. This is still in plastic. Warcry by Dave Petrovsky for it's Judges Guild.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got that for I think $5 or $10. Insane.
Wow.
Yeah, really unbelievable. Another Tome of Magic. Can't have enough of those. That was $5. Chris Pramus's Vortex of Madness. I think that was
nice.
I think that was 10. Another. This was $1 Under the Storm Giant's Castle. Look at the condition on that.
Yeah.
Judges Guild. That was $1. Can't believe
wow.
that. $5. Original Bottle City. It's the only thing I already had. But for $5, I had to get it. I'm going to do that probably for a giveaway for the fundraiser on that one.
Nice.
And then these were a little more expensive. I think this was $20. An Order on the Adventures book in pretty good condition. That was pretty good. And lastly, Gygax's Necropolis. So I don't think I had this. So I got it. There you go. I got some great stuff there. Oh, not last. Anyone's a BattleTech person? I got this City Tech box set. Now here's the thing. I got this for $10. Wait. And Andy, who I knew, said it's not complete. So I'm thinking, it's just missing the chits inside. I don't care. So I open it up. Unbeknownst to me, there are in here 2 perfect condition, like module setting guides that are each worth well over $100. Cranston Stories, the regulars, perfect condition.
Mm-hmm.
And the Black Widow, the original Tales of Black Widow, they're both in perfect condition. I'm like, holy shit. I don't know if he meant to do that or not, but there you go. So there, all
Well,
that, Brady, $1.
now, if you're watching and you're going, I'm never going to have the money to buy all this stuff, and I'm never going to find it all, you don't need it.
That's right.
But they are treasures. If you come across one, what if you're, say, in a flea market or a secondhand store in a small village somewhere and you see one? Buy it. And if you never ever get the chance to buy it, don't let it gnaw at you.
It's true.
You just it's sort of like when you walk across a parking lot and you find a silver dollar, pick it up.
That's it.
But if you walk across 5 million parking lots and never see a silver dollar, don't worry about it. You got to cross the parking lot. You know?
You're always like there's always going to be a regret, Ed. I'll have to give you one regret of me not picking up something. And Michael Zudrak and all the South Jersey people know there used to be a place called a chain called Allied Hobbies that was around.
Okay.
And they were at the Echelon Mall near my house. And I go there, and they're kind of going out of business at the time. And they have 2 sealed 25th anniversary D&D Silver Edition box sets.
Yeah.
For $10 each.
Yep.
What are they worth now?
Sealed. You should have bought them.
I should have bought those, but I didn't because I was like, what year was that? 27. It was at 99. Whenever it was.
Around then. Yeah.
So you know, but it's just like,
I have sadness and regret for other reasons. I see something like when you were pulling out the Judges Guild thing there.
Right.
And I remember when it was brand new.
Yeah.
And I remember the gaming stores that are gone.
Oh my
and I remember all my friends, the gamers who have died since then.
Yeah.
Just because the years have unrolled. And I have the nostalgia. Wouldn't it be nice to be that young again and back at that convention? And what if this time, instead of making a mistake and eating that hot dog and regretting it, I instead went to the auction and bought stuff, or instead sat in on another table and got to play something in it. It's that sort of regrets I have. But guess what? You can't turn back the clock. But yeah, if you go to a con like Page and you see stuff like that, you have to make a decision with the number of shekels you have in your pocket.
Yes.
Because if you see something you really want, get it. Do not wait for it to turn up later.
Because it may not.
You may never see it again.
Yeah.
Get
absolutely. It was a right place, right time kind of thing. So I got a lot of stuff, and that doesn't even count all the new terrain. I got 3 pieces of new terrain. And I'll show that on a future show, but it was awesome. So I just wanted a little sidebar of that there. And thank you, Jeremy, for getting me those 2 books. That was fantastic. Really had a great time.
What a guy.
And Tony. And Tony's such a doll. I didn't,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Tony used all her spells again.
Why not?
My guy from our regular group, Tom, who's playing Thomas the younger. He's a fighter mage, but he's only 7'7". She's 7'8". Combined, they used almost every single spell they had. That thing against the, and it was against this a bunch of it was silly, a bunch of Murlocs and a crazy 300 monster at the end. So, but it was fun. We had a good time. Yep.
Excellent.
He does have amazing pieces. So Tony decides if she's enjoying pizza and watching the game. Are they winning? I'm actually rooting for the Bears tonight there. So tell her that. So, all righty. So we are down. We've done 2 so far, and that's it. And look, we're already an hour in. So normally at this time I'd be like rushing it along, but we don't need to rush tonight.
No.
Good. Yes.
I have to work tomorrow, but it's a library.
So do I, but it's snowing out. We got a couple inches of snow here, so I may not be going very far tomorrow. So I'm working from home, which is good. There were quite a few hobby shops we took for granted. Yes. So I got real quick. Sorry, on the sidebar. I got into multiple discussions with Stefan Picorni because Scottish Jeff, you saw my son wandered into his game on Friday. he just went over to Stefan and they're playing and stuff. And Stefan's all young kid. He's like, he was very kind to him. He's in the group picture with Stefan at the game. And Scottish Chef saw it. He's like, oh my God, your son played with Stefan. And then we were over at the hotel afterwards and we're talking. And Stefan's like, oh, you're really good and really cool kid. And all he looks over at me and goes, he's your son. Because he knew, Stefan knows me. And it was great. We had talked. But he remembers the Complete Strategist is still open in New York City. And he used to go there all the time because he grew up in Manhattan. So he knew exactly where it was. And there's still one in King of Prussia. And there's the Days and Nights in Delaware. But most of the stores are gone. Right?
Yeah.
Most of them are gone, unfortunately. Thank you, Patrick. So
yeah, I can tell this story now because George Skithers is gone.
Oh, okay.
George Skithers, who was the editor for Amazing and Fantastic for a bit.
Okay.
And famous science fiction editor. He lived at 123 Crooked Lane, King of Prussia, United States. Wow. What an address.
Wow.
123 Crooked Lane, 123 Crooked Lane, Damn. King of Prussia.
Thank you, Patrick. Really appreciate that. So one downer from the show was on Friday night. They stated Frank Menser went to the hospital, but he came back the next day and he said he was fine. I don't know if he was dehydrated or what. Do you know, Alex, what happened with Frank? Because he sat in on our seminar, our Greyhawk seminar, and I said to him, Frank, things good? He's like, yeah, I'm good, but yeah, he did good. Yeah, so it's always that kind of worry, but I think he was just dehydrated.
On the other hand, folks, these are people who are living life to the fullest.
Yes.
Just because we're getting old, see, I'm old. I'm not going to stop doing things. One day I will fall over in armor. I will die in harness because I am not going to sit at home and go, oh, when I was a kid.
That's right.
And then move my false teeth around. I am going to keep on doing this and go down in the saddle.
And Ed has taught me something and that's why I really took to it this year after all my surgeries and all. Do it now while you're still here.
Do it now.
And that's what I've taken to heart. And whoever thought I'd be writing stuff in 2024 5E, which I am. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Gene Rabe, I know Gene Rabe is in hospice. I know that sucks. That really does suck. Thank you, though, Alex, for sharing that. Okay, so next FR lore, local lore.
The realms. Well, let's see. What do we got here? Oh, that's Greyhawk. I mustn't give you Greyhawk when I mean to give you the realms. Here we go. The realms. Okay. So, in the realms here we go. Another focus of adventures can be a local hero.
Yes.
And I have one of those for you, too. In the small walled town of Soubar, 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 on the tradeway between Triel and Boresker Bridge, on the Sword Coast, inland from Baldur's Gate, there dwells a certain Roreld, or Rory Hawklin, who is not a member of the Purple Flame, a mercenary company, never swore the creed resolute, or accepted that Soubar was ever part of Eltergard, and did not kneel to Bane or believe that the Black Abbey should continue to exist in his town. Ooh. Hawklin is a young, strong, fast, and swift-witted adventurer, a battle master fighter in D&D game terms, who behaves like a guerrilla rebel or outlaw in the eyes of Elturel and of the priests of the Black Abbey. He's ambushed many Baneites who tried to tithe, extort from, or offer guidance commands to anyone in Soubar or along the tradeway, including the town's ruling burghers, the Five. He openly defies anyone wearing the blazon of Elturel, and whenever one of the Five is exposed as under the influence of, accepting bribes from, to you and me, Baneites or the Centrum or Elturel, he hangs them publicly somewhere near the town walls for all Soubar to see. These days, Hawklin leads an intrepid adventuring band of Soubaran who believe, as he does, that Soubar should be free of all outside authority and govern itself as it sees fit, a supply center of gnome crafters and herbalists and seed gardeners serving a surrounding community of ranchers and thriving thanks to all the traffic along the tradeway. If Hawkland meets adventurers, he will warn them against taking hire with Banites or Zentrim or Eltuerl, no matter what guise they take or who else they pretend to be. If any wayfarers fall afoul of agents of those three powers, he may appear unlooked for as their rescuer. He also carries some adventure tales of his own. When the Black Abbey was being built, monks of Bane from Darkhold brought two relics of the Lord of Tyranny, severed black claws that he'd distorted the hands of past high priests of his faith into and could issue his words and dark magic from. Hawkland slew the monks and hid the hands where he hopes they'll never be found. If any adventurers are brave enough to convey them to where they can be rightfully and for sure and certain destroyed, he will reveal their location. He also, on other occasions, killed Banite priests bringing wagons of gold coins to the Black Abbey and hid that wealth too. If someone can put it to good use and make sure the foul servants of Bane can never have it, he'll tell where it is, but will warn, rightly, that Bane's spies are everywhere, and anyone who openly has the wealth could well be attacked in force. Hawkland is handsome, muscular, rugged, and protected by magical bracers and other mysterious means that allow him to repel some hostile magics, often to the horrified surprise of Banites or Zentrim seeking to magically harm him. Even Subaran, who think his deeds are foolhardy or endanger the folk of the town, admire him for trying to keep Subar free. He is almost their only hope of a free future. They will aid him however they can, short of open warfare. So, something of a loose cannon just waiting for a dungeon master to fire.
So he takes some chances, take some risks. You gotta like a risk taker, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you put it in historical terms, there were all sorts of, as the United States was being settled and was expanding west, there were all sorts of brief realms, republics, small political things that didn't want to be ruled by somebody from somewhere else. Eventually, they got overrun and so on, but they, and he's sort of like that. He wants Subar to be ruled by Subarans and nobody else. He wants all these outlanders to, bring your trade, yeah, but don't stay and try and rule us. Yeah, that's his thing.
Here's a quick trivia question for people. Where I live right now, what country was this first for the United States? It was another country. We're talking about Delaware, parts of PA, parts of Caesar, New Sweden, 1623 to 1635.
Yep,
part of New Sweden. Crazy stuff. So that happens all over. I mean, Texas was its own country.
Yeah, Texas was its own country. Yeah.
Absolutely. Really cool. So great one, man. Great one. Yep, Swedesboro used to be Sveaborg. I showed it to Jeremy and Tony and everyone else here. I have a map on my wall downstairs from 1680. It's the oldest thing I'll ever own. It's from the Dutch cartographer de Kuiper. It does not have Philadelphia because Philadelphia didn't exist until 1681. But in the tip of where Cape May, you can see it on South Jersey, Sveaborg's there, and that's literally right down the road to me. That's Swedesboro now. First ever log cabin was built there in the United States, and the King of Sweden came here in 1976 to this area, to visit the old claim, which is kind of cool. But yeah, that's a great thing. Thank you for the hype train, everyone. Really appreciate it. History can have it's a funny thing. And it's good to know about it a little bit. And it sounds like this guy doesn't like the grand establishment What's the small scale, which is always a typical chaotic good character? Probably a chaotic good guy. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah,
Specific.
it
Did he have
depends
it?
on whether do you agree with him or not. He's
Right.
definitely
Right.
chaotic.
Right.
Yeah.
Did he does he have a personal specific deity? Did I miss that in there? Or did he?
No, we don't know what it is.
Okay.
You're gonna have to find out.
Okay.
You see,
Cool.
that's why I'm leaving that.
To the DM.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Yep. Very, very cool. Let's see. Oh yeah, the Coast Guard base down there is really big, Jeff. You're right at that down Gateway. All right, so an FR question on that? Anyone? Anyone on that, or any other general FR questions here? Because we got plenty of time today. I'm not feeling. Hey, we got to get through all these like we normally do. Yeah, but I don't know how we ever. Oh, Alex, it happens all the time. I mean, Alan Grow Dog, grew up 5 miles from me, and I never met him. And he was, huge in D&D. And the only reason I met Michael Zudrak on here, because I ran into him at the game store down the street a couple years ago. Is Arif the Thurnal the son of Krellin and Sahin? That's it. All right. So, Bozo, that is a tough one. Arif the Thurnal appears. I'll answer this one. That appears in a Dragon magazine, and it's an alternate god, an elven deity, right? And if they merged Aralith into something, it's hard to say if it is if it's a sun or not. You can make it your own with that, because I don't know if there's any other lore beyond that. But I have Aralith the Thermal in my game as the Drow Hunter deity, the god of light for elves and the Drow Hunter. So yeah, I can take that one, because you don't have Aralith the Thermal in Forgotten Realms, do you?
No, but
No.
maybe we do, because there's so much going back and forth through gates,
right,
and
true.
cross-pollination. Yeah. And what usually happens is a deity of the realms grants spells standing in for another deity. And then, of course, the person who's praying to that deity says, "Oh, yes, they're here too."
True. Hey,
yeah.
I've pulled in Red Knight,
Mhm.
Leviator, which was always a finish, right? Myliki, Ilmater.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
and Talos. I just renamed him the Stormlord because I wanted that cat. He's cat neutral with evil tendencies in mind. I think he's a pure chaotic evil as Talos. Am I correct on that? But I wanted a god of storms and evil technology and just deadness when it came to that. And we didn't have. I don't think there's really one that maybe Telcher or something, but that's usually Winters. So like, take deities. I mean, if you're playing Forgotten Realms, you want to steal a Grok deity, do it. I steal enough from Ed.
That's what it's for.
Yeah. Another great thing that happened at Page was a guy who had never played at our table, and he was playing Tabitha Fighter Mage, and he's like, "What's this spell Steel Dance that she has?" I said, "Well, that's and then I asked the whole table, "Who created that spell?" Everyone's sitting there. And then I think, was it you, Rob? It said Ed, right? And then he's like, "Wow, this is a great spell." I was like, "Of course, I steal all sorts of good stuff from Ed." Yeah, Steel Dance is a cool spell. So yeah. I wasn't allowed to. You were not, Rob, because you knew exactly who you knew right off the bat who it was. So yes, it's really cool telling people how Jay and I met. Yeah, that's exactly right, Michael. But yeah, it's okay to steal between realms. I think is what Ed is also saying with deities and anything. It makes the game more fun. Yeah. No one's going to yell at you for it. Oh, some people may. Some people may give you a little hard time here and there for your stuff, but like I didn't have Greyhawk deities when I started. So Ed, that's a good question. When did the formation of the deity pantheon actually start? When you're in your mind, like
right from the beginning. And when I was 5 years old, because an awful lot of Fafhrd and the Grey Mouser. The short stories by Fritz Leiber.
Right.
They had their two patron wizards, Ningulbel of the Seven Eyes and Shilba, and they had the gods. And the gods are there right at the beginning with the origin story of Fafhrd up in in the cold north. But you can see in issue 54 of Dragon, when I published an article about how I was putting together my pantheon around the official pantheon of D&D.
We get it.
I think they retitled the article Down to Earth Divinity, and it's in Dragon 54, which has a yellow cover with trees on it.
I'm hoping I have it here on the. I'm hoping I have it on my in my I have so many dragons in PDF. If not, I should be able to find it quickly. I want to bring that up.
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah,
what
wow,
I was doing.
Okay.
Yeah, what I was doing was taking here are all the official deities that Gary's putting into the thing, and I was trying to make it adhere to D&D. So I was adopting all of these official deities, and I was realmsifying them in that I wanted to have so many deities that player characters couldn't memorize stuff about all of the deities all the time, because that gets in the way of role playing. If they burst out of a dungeon and they find an altar with guys in robes or gals in robes around it chanting, and some sacrifice on the altar, just lying there, not chained down, not being carved up, but just lying there on the altar. If they know not enough about the gods, they're all overwhelmed. They have to stop and role play. They can't just say, oh, this must be an evil god because there's only 4 gods and it doesn't look like my god. I'll just kill everybody. I wanted it to be a role-playing thing where you had to stop and go, what is this? Who are these people? What should we do? And that's all it was. I wanted to have so many deities and so much information that you couldn't memorize everything. And then TSR played into my hands because, again, teenage mothers from heck, they wanted to avoid all details of the gods. So they didn't want prayers and rituals published in the game, which is why you've never had proper prayers and rituals for how to worship this or that god all laid out for you. I delivered all that stuff to TSR in 1986, pages and pages of it. And most of it got drawn on by Eric Boyd and Julia Martin and so on to do the gods books later on. But we didn't get to publish it right away. Like, you're a cleric of this. I don't want you sitting in the party trying to sell your healing spells to your fellow party members. I want you to follow a creed. There are do's and don'ts, like don't kick a cat and don't walk backwards on Thursdays or whatever it is, I want you to have a bunch of prayers that you can say. And I don't just mean, by Crom's fist as a prayer. I mean, if you want good fortune, if you want guidance, if a bad thing has happened and you're praying to the deity for comfort or aid, what words do you use? All that stuff. But yeah, there it all is. Dragon 54. We were younger then.
And those books came out in 2nd edition. That's how long it took, right?
Yeah.
Some of them were Forgotten Realms box set, right? But most of them came out in that great those 3 great books.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at that. So this is the first note of them. There's Leviator, which is awesome. Merkle, yep. Oh, very cool. There's Talos. Yeah, awesome. Gond. Some of them. All right. So here, my question is on this too: is how did you decide which ones were pulled from deities, demigods, and which ones were all from your making? Because was it just because you were...
I pulled from deities and like just to fill in gaps.
Okay.
You see, I'm trying to cover all of the alignments and balance the pantheon. And if there were gaps, I'd say, is there anything in deities and demigods that I find attractive? And by attractive, I mean interesting. Leviatar and Ilmater are interesting.
Here,
Odin is not as interesting to me because he's the father of the gods. His spear never misses. He's got these 2 ravens that spy on the world and tell him everything. He's got all this stuff, and I'm reading it and saying, this is gross. And it's also, once you start reading about the father gods, particularly Zeus, and you go back there, they seem to seduce and make love to everybody they can reach, and um it's very hard to get a handle on who they are as people.
Sure.
There's a very interesting thing in an old Marvel Comics issue, in which Hela, or Hel, the goddess of death in the Norse mythos, there's been a battle, and a warrior's been killed, and all I remember about him is he was balding and had a bright blue beard, and Odin is cradling his corpse, and Hela comes, and on the hell they put into the Marvel
right.
movies
sister?
is,
Yeah.
of course, the villainous. They needed an out-and-out villain, but the way she was depicted in the Marvel comics was she's standing over Odin. He's in the water where this guy has died. He's cradling the guy's body, and she's saying, "My lord, it's time. Let him go." And she's reaching down for him. And he looks up at her, and the tears are streaming down his face. And he's saying, "He was my oldest friend." And she says to him, "Do you think I like doing this job?" And then takes the dead man. And it's little moments like that. That's what interested me. What are the deities like as super people? Because the whole game is predicated on the fact that we, the players, have free will. So you can't have destiny that is all encompassing. You can have destiny that isn't understood, like cryptic prophecies, but you can't have this has been ordained since the beginning of time. You are the hero, sort of thing. Because if you have that, then you're not a hero, you're a pawn following a script. So for our adventurers to mean anything, we have to have free will. We have to be able to affect things. And what that means is the deities, the gods, have to be fallible. They have to be like the Greek and Roman gods. They have to be super humans. They have to have all the human foibles. They have to be able to make mistakes, forget things, screw up. They just have superpowers. And where we see flawed deities, that's what's interesting.
Okay. Very cool, man. Because I always wanted to know, so I've noted on this list there are 2 crossover deities already on this old list in the Greyhawk, and they're right here.
Mm-hmm.
Loth, of course,
Mm-hmm.
but right here, Camazotz, which is
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, Shine Tomokan. It's the Omen,
Yep.
right? The Omen worship town.
That's right.
That god, yeah.
Yep.
So they're the 2 I noticed that were already Greyhawk based, but they.
Oh yeah, but here's the thing: everything that Gary put in, I put into the realms as official. Misha as well, all that stuff.
Okay.
Grumsh, everything he's mentioning in the game, I am putting in as official.
Yeah, because these are from Grom is from Melnibone, isn't he?
I believe so. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, man, that's beautiful. I love it. I know we're off the tangent here, but it's something I always wanted to know.
You see, because to Gary, those were the elder elemental lords, not specified at that point.
Before the other book came out with the elder elemental gods.
Yeah.
Well, the elemental gods, were they out yet? Was that Fiend Folio? Yeah. But okay, these were the evil ones. Yeah. Yeah, Lord of Flames. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
And the whole article is actually about, here's what I've detailed, and I think I only detailed Tempest full on in that article. And the rest of it is, here are my design choices, and here is why I'm making them. As a guide to other DMs. It wasn't, here's the right way to do a Pantheon. It's like, here's how I'm building mine. Here are the things I've thought about that you're going to end up confronting too. So make your decisions.
Very cool. Nice. Well, thank you for indulging me on that tangent.
No problem.
Yeah, because it makes a lot more sense.
That's what these things are for.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
Shows are for.
Absolutely. I just and it's Dragon 54, which is this 80. What year is this?
81.
Wow.
Fall of 81.
October of 81. So My campaign is only a year old at this time.
I'm older than dirt.
45 years ago.
And I was young and beautiful and had a 29-inch waist.
Oh, that's so cool.
When
All
I
right.
went dancing, the boys watched.
Yeah, man. And we went over some of them, Malden, last show. We went over Wormies, and we went over What's News, and we went over all those old cartoons running through these. Just Dragon Mirths and stuff, which are so. Yeah, it was a couple episodes ago we did those, which is really cool. All right, so next, a Greyhawk hero is coming.
Oh boy,
a local hero.
Well, let's see. Let's see what okay, I think I started. Okay, let me warm up here because I think I sort of cheated on this one. You'll find out.
Oh, that's okay.
So when it comes to local heroes, these tend to be of three sorts: valiant defenders who are fighting off invaders, Robin Hoods, standing up for we the people against oppressive authority, such as a greedy tax-collecting baron or a king, or a ruler who's racist or speciesist, that is, bent on exterminating or driving out or enslaving elves or dwarves or gnomes or halflings. And the third type is Beowulfs or St. Georges, slayers of local monsters, such as dragons. What if such a hero is sorely wounded and needs help? They need a stand-in to face a new danger while they lie low recovering. But we want no one to know they're wounded because it will embolden foes. Or they're being blackmailed. The authorities or bad guys have kidnapped their spouse, their child, other loved one that the PCs could jump in and rescue to remove the hold over the hero. Or they've been corrupted. A mind flayer or wizard or cleric with the right spells is influencing their mind. And the PCs, of course, must remedy this by finding and removing this controller. So, here are three specific adventure hooks. Back to Voluna. Someone is stealing bulk grain from granaries in Voluna near the banks of the Velverdvia River, just south of Mirik. And where's that? Well, Anna Meyer's superb map of Furiondi entitled Furiondi -2 will show you where it is. And by the way, you can get that as a free download from her website. Right. Furiondi 2 map. You can find Mirik. Okay, so grain is waiting to be sewn into sacks, put on wagons, taken to barges, and ferried across the river to be bought by wagon merchants from the barony of Willip in Furiondi. The granaries, known as Holt's Towers, HULT''S, Holt's Towers, are never quite emptied. They just go from full to about a fifth full. Somebody is stealing bulk loose grain by night, quickly and quietly. Stop the thefts! So the PCs are hired by the granary owners, who are relatively wealthy compared to the farmers they work with, millers, Horon Elhunt and Gastor Verbroin, who have bought the grain from farmers and so are out the money they would have seen from selling it to the Willip merchants. Holt, by the way, was the now dead former owner and builder of the three granary towers. The thieves are the Full Fist. 12 rogues of levels 1 to 3, led by Caldart Foltond, a neutral evil rogue or thief, depending on which edition you're playing, level 7, who's ostensibly a sign painter and an artist. Most of his work is painting flattering portraits of rich, ugly merchants. and his lover, Delarna Estonk, a chaotic evil human female rogue 6, who makes ornate frames for the portraits that Keldart paints. The Fist often move stolen goods away from Furiondi and Verbobonk by wagon, so they have a fleet of wagons and are all good with oxen harnesses and wagon handling. They have blackmailed 2 minor wizards from Morston, Vorn Guskel and Cuthmer Jarrow, by holding family members of the 2 mages captive. All the mages have to do is work with them teleporting grain from the inside of the granary to the inside of storage cribs in the wagons by night, after the wagons are brought close to the granaries inside a ring of armed guards. The thieves released 5 trained war dogs to keep any passersby away as the theft is accomplished and round them up again by whistle signals once the grain-loaded wagons are underway. The wagons also have some stolen valuables, jewelry and fine clothing, stored in underbed flat crates, sent along to help pay for the relatively low revenue grain hauling trips. The wagons are heading for cover inside gang-owned warehouses not far away so they can safely be hidden by morning. And one of the sponsors of the gang is a Willip merchant who normally buys the grain shipments. He now gets them for free, but can sell them in Willip for higher prices than usual because, there's a shortage thanks to these thefts.
Selling it back. Yeah, that's funny. That's awesome. Nice. So these are anti-heroes, which is great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to give you
Beautiful.
all sorts of fun things, and that's why I went on and on and on.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I've even got an extra Greyhawk hook. You're gonna have such fun putting this into an article, maybe more than one. I don't know.
Good.
Up to you. Yeah, they're yours to play with. Yeah. But the next one will be when we get there. Southern Furiondi.
Okay.
And then the one after that will be the Weld Coast.
Oh, so you got 4 for Greyhawk.
I just kept kept going.
Oh my.
That's why I asked you how late we could go, because I just kept writing. It was fun.
Yeah, man. Wow. I think everyone's gonna love extra. Yeah, some extra hooks there, right? Fantastic. As we keep on rolling, on the spot adventure ideas. That's the whole thing. Local. Wanted to go a little local and go into areas that are quiet to start. That Valuna Furiondi is perfect for that because Sorry, Ashur, I did not ask Ed to do anything on the right side of the map, and I wonder why. I'm just kidding. But that's okay.
Hey, we got to save something for a later program.
Right, that's it. Absolutely. And this is some very quiet areas. Like Valuna, nothing ever happens in Valuna. So we had to do something in Valuna for the first time. But absolutely, that's really cool. So let's see here. Ed hates the Bone March. Why does Ed hate the Bone March? I don't think he has any negativity against.
No. The older you get, the more you like Bone.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, absolutely. That's funny. Yes, please, everyone, get in there on the Troller game gift certificates. I am running low on them, but I know I have enough for at least 2 tonight to give away. So yep. So we are good on that. I may throw in a something else too if I remember. I'm just things are good, man. Things are really good here. And Ed, thanks. So far we're almost we're beyond halfway. Halfway on.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
We're having fun here.
We're having fun. I learned a lot about the deities too, which is really good. What about Halrua, Ed? What's that?
What about Halrua? You see, here's the thing about Halrua. I did write a lore video, one of the videos that's up on my Patreon and up at YouTube, updating Halrua for after the spell plague.
Okay.
Elaine Cunningham sent a trilogy of novels there. They were all mass market paperbacks back in the day, and Halrua is a land of wizards where everything is done. The wizards rule. And as you know from if you're a Mystara fan and you've encountered Glantry in Mystara, those can be touchy places when you have lots and lots of magic. So Halrua was a touchy place, and TSR responded to that in the old days by just ignoring it. So I have done an update of it, and one of the things that happened in the spell plague, if you have a country where everybody uses arcane spells, everybody, well, they all go nuts during the spell plague. Half of them are mind burned for good. They die, or they are babbling insane for the rest of their lives and have to be cared for. And what this means is if you're some of the few people in Halrua who aren't arcane magic users or weren't using magic, the farmers and so on, you tend to hate and fear magic because you've just seen all that can go wrong with it.
Right.
So you go from a country that loves and reveres magic and does everything through magic, sort of like a country that does everything with cell phones, so people can't even consider what it would be like without them, to what if every time you picked up your cell phone, it poisoned you? So the more you used it, the faster you would die horribly, like go downhill, die horribly. Then there would be a change of attitude towards cell phones very quickly.
Yeah.
And that's what's happened in Helrua. People are now hate and fear magic. So there's a backlash against magic. So it's a very different place now. A far more interesting adventuring place too.
Excellent. Good question. You got a really good answer on that, and I know everyone loves all the lore posts you've been putting out. Is Ivan still helping with all that?
Ivan is so busy with his day job that I can't even contact him anymore.
Wow. Well,
he's down to 3 hours of sleep a night.
Oh my gosh.
I haven't. That's why there have been no new videos, because Ivan is the only one. I don't have the tech know-how to put them up. We have recorded a bunch of them ahead of. I think we're about a dozen videos, in the hopper that are finished, done, recorded, and I have more scripts to. But at this time of year, I wouldn't normally drive down to Ivan's in upstate New York, because I did drive down this year in December. It was hairy.
Yeah, no, you don't want to.
No, I don't want to be going.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
No. Okay.
But no, I can't even get a hold of him because his voicemail's now full.
Well, he's young, so he's got to build up his early career, right?
Yes,
so, yeah.
exactly.
Unlike us old farts who are counting the days till retirement, right, Curtis? And me, and yes. Oh
I'm still at the library past retirement because, hey, the library's where my ladies are and they need me. They just phoned me. They need me to come in tomorrow. I'm popular, They're running low on chocolate bars, so they need me to come in.
Yeah. Do I have a Discord? Well, we have our Greyhawk Events Discord here. I don't know if you're already on it, Mandy. Let me get it to you. So from there, I can friend you. So if you join that Discord, that's our one for our fundraiser and our virtual Greyhawk Con. And from there, I'll link up with you, friend you and stuff when we talk there. So we need to. It's after Paige. I always said, Ed, Paige goes to St. Jude fundraiser, goes to Gary Con. And now there's going to be a new con called Concoction in South Jersey that the Page people are doing. It's going to be smaller, but they want me on the board for that, and be a special guest on that. So boom, 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 boom. Now I understand how you feel like you're getting. Oh, I get like 25 invites to cons all over the place, and you just can't do them all.
I can't be in 2 places at once, or 3 places at once,
no.
or 5 places at once.
Right.
There are only so many weekends during the year, and if I go to all of them, first of all, I'll be half dead of dysentery and travel. And secondly, I won't have produced anything in the year. And that's the stuff you guys want from me, the new game stuff and the new fiction stuff. And I can't do it if I'm at conventions, because that's when you discover that, oh, guess what? Your desktop, your laptop doesn't work, or you can't connect to Wi-Fi, or all that stuff.
Right. No, 100%, man. 100%. It's just like there's only there's so much you can do, and then you got to prioritize your hours. You have to prioritize where you are. Yep. Everyone, you can get in on that invite, not just to Mandy, but to anyone else. You are more than welcome to do that. Yes, but we need to get together and I sent you a friend request, Randy, if you're still, I know you're streaming at the same time, and I had to do that, but that's awesome. I sent you a friend request so we can get that going. I'm getting all the channels together for St. Jude, because we got to surpass $32,000 this year, everyone. That was
excellent.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, no, that's important. Hated the spell plague so much broadly. Rich Baker should have been stopped.
Yeah, well.
No comment.
It's all water under the bridge now.
Yeah. Here's
But
another
you
one.
see, one of the reasons I'm so happy with the Realmsbound people, I didn't want Wizards to jump the timeline 100 years
Right, again.
until I'd finished covering all of Toril, the surface of Toril, with source books, regional source books. What are Realmsbound doing? They're starting up the regional source books to cover the realms. That's what I wanted. We should have been doing that from the beginning, from 1987, when that came out, that you just threw up the graphic of, the old gray box. From then until now, we should have had regional source books going all over, covering the, and we should have it for Greyhawk too. Anyway, end of sermon.
So, another weird thing that just came up here is Michael Z says you did something for Frog God?
I
If
did a
you'd like to
bunch of
do an
things.
Ed Greenwood giveaway from FGG tonight, 2 PDFs available in 5E, SW, or Pathfinder 1E. There you go. All right. So, it's the stories. It's the compilation stories, right? Michael, I did some of those adventures, I think, right?
Ah,
Yes. All right. Yes. So we got 4 giveaways. We're gonna have 2 of those. You get your choice in the PDF in either 5E, S&W, or Pathfinder, and then the 2 Troller game gift certificates. Thanks, Michael, and that's Frog God as well, another great sponsor. So, yep, awesome. Thank you, man. Quest of Doom 1 plus Quest of Doom 4. Ed wrote 1 in the adventure in each. There you go. The Frog God.
mm-hmm.
I did that. Yep, excellent. Very cool. Thank you, Michael, for your kindness. So I'll need your drive-through RPG email and whether you want it in Pathfinder, S&W, or 5th edition. S&W is old school. So there you go. All righty. Now we're getting to I guess you did 3 Forgotten Realms.
Yeah, so we only have 1 left in the realms, but I have more left for Greyhawk.
We'll do the Forgotten Realms one, then we'll go into the Greyhawk ending, because that way I keep all the Greyhawk fans still on.
Sure, let's do that. Okay, so the realms one. And here we go. An example of a larger plot arc. Something to put into a campaign as an ongoing background prime mover for adventures that progress behind the main foreground player character deeds and concerns. And this is called The Trusted. And who are the Trusted? The Trusted are a small, very low profile band of wizards of middling power. They are seeking to enrich themselves by controlling their own small, secret network of gates, portals, so they and their bodyguards can carry spell scrolls, gems, minor magic items, and jewelry as light, small, portable, but very valuable cargoes from place to place. The plan is to purchase nondescript, nominally owned by middle-class merchants who are aliases of trusted members, houses in Zesper, Athkatla, Riethaven, Saradush, Waterdeep, Leylon, and Everlund. Create gates within them and use them to move goods around to sell to wealthy clients, such as the nobles of Waterdeep and the upper crust in Athkatla. Thus far, they've secured houses in all of those places except Everlund and Saradush. Expeditions are underway to procure suitable buildings there. The Lylon House is on the east side of the same block that the Peculiarities shop stands on the west side of. The Waterdeep House stands on East Front Shield Street, 4 doors north of Vondil Street, 2 doors north of the Amical Noble Family Villa in Sea Ward. The Zesper House is on North Front Harris Street, 1 street away from the southeastern edge of the Wainwright District and Carpet District beyond. The house in Riethaven is on the south side of the city block, just south of the northeastern city wall tower, and the Athkatla House is on East Front Bridge Street, 6 doors north of the bridge in River District. The band are calling themselves the Trusted, and they consist of 9 wizards, lawful neutral to lawful good, with most of them neutral good, of levels 6 to 14, assisting the 2 leaders, Cadelm Morainewinter, lawful neutral human male wizard 17, and Darunra Velmantle, Chaotic Good Human Female Wizard 18, the only trusted members who can create gates. These two have shield guardians as lair guardians of their houses in Waterdeep and Athkatla, but they and the other trusted also have at least 2 human bodyguards each, veteran champions and eldritch knights who average 8th level and are slowly adding factors, that's trade agents, who double as spies. Slowly, because they want to trust such folk, which they do by magically spying on them from afar during test missions and tasks to learn their true loyalties and contacts. Most don't measure up. Trusted members know and work with jewelers in Zesper and Athkatla, and they can craft spell scrolls and minor magic items themselves. They know gem merchants in Athkatla and Zesper, and have found a dwarf gem trader, Harlbur Longbeard, lawful neutral dwarven male Eldritch Knight 11, of Larth Street, just around the corner from the Vilhound Tavern in Riatav. The secret weapon of the trusted are their mantles, magical auras that repel steel, iron, and ferrous weapons, reflect but back magic missiles at their sources, and otherwise act as globes of invulnerability as the spell, so blocking the effects of all spells of 5th level and below. Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Where did I get that from? I wonder. These mantles exist when the wearer of a mantle ring wills them to. When 2 mantles impinge on each other, they clash spectacularly, spitting crawling lightnings, but still function normally. Their effects overlap but don't stack. Every trusted member has several such rings cached and wears at least one at all times. What the trusted are attempting is an echo of exactly what the Zhentarim were initially formed to do, though the involvement of the priests and the Eye Tyrants, coupled with the political ambitions of the Zhent founders, soon pushed them into open political bids for power. And they know it, which is one reason why they're being very quiet about what they're attempting and keeping it small in scale. The Red Wizards, the Twisted Rune, the Wearers of the Purple, and other mage cabals are another reason. And the third is the known, but not quantified, peril of bulk shipments via gates. The very reason that caravans and fleets of cargo ships still exist. That is, the propensity of things taken through gates to just disappear, vanishing during translocation. Thus far, the trusted have suffered no such losses, but they haven't yet tried to transport more than 6 of any one thing. 6 spell scrolls, 6 matched rubies, 6 golden plates ready to be melted down and used to stamp out coins. They intend to keep their habits this way, but then their trading travels haven't yet been going on long enough for overconfidence to set in and greed to rise.
I like this trusted so much, I may pull them into Greyhawk.
There you go.
I love that name. I love that organization idea. I may make the levels slightly lower, but I think it could work.
Well, you see, I need someone of the right level to make it. Yeah. But other than that, man, you can make all the rest of them 2nd to 4th level.
Right. I really love that group. That is, here comes Master of Dungeons. Great. Thank you coming in. We're running late tonight, so have some fun with Ed, because we got a ways to go still.
Oh, Fun with Ed.
I
think I've seen that movie.
In many ways. In fact, we're gonna. So, wow. That so far that one is by far the favorite. That's awesome. I just love the concept of that group. Yeah, I can see some ideas floating through my head on the trusted. So
aren't they fun?
Yeah, definitely. That was a great idea. Absolutely. So yeah, of course. And we've only been going for 2 hours, and we're going at least one more, so we're good, right? Ed's fine. We're gonna roll with this one. Yes, and Ed's providing new Forgotten Realms and new Greyhawk content. which he always does in these shows. And we're talking in between. We're talking about all different sorts of things. So, yep. So here, from that, let's talk a little, just a hair, about this. I want to get your thoughts, just Ed, your thoughts on the last adventure you did where Ravalantar's rescue.
Yes.
All right, so here is Ravalantar in this whatever, this certainly wasn't really a dungeon or anything, with Fritz Winchester and Erebus recovering him. And here's the funny thing, and this is here we go. Here he is. There in the velvet smoking jacket, smoking with a cigar. I'm sorry, smoking the pipe, making the yes. So yes, but she had keysed him, and so Ed had to go. Radland had to go get his group together to recover the symbol of that item, right? Which was an egg creation, which was Elminster's traveling spellbook had made its way to Greyhawk because it bounces all over the place. So, your thought. I just love to get your thoughts on that book. It kind of has a computer diagram, a screen on it almost. It pops up and it's digital and all. That was cool. I'm assuming you made that up.
Yep.
Assuming you created that. So, thoughts on and is it one of those like just I want an anomaly that anyone could come across? Was that your idea behind the Elminster Traveling Spellbook?
Well, okay. Doug Stewart was compiling that particular source book.
Okay.
And he sort of took a small notion idea and made it his own. So what you see in that spell book is his work. He decided what the mix would be.
Okay.
Doug Stewart, Doug the Piper Stewart, because he's Scottish and he played the bagpipes.
So you're not okay. Oh, got it. All right. On the pages. All right. So let me see. I don't know if I can find pages from the mages, but it was in the pages from mages.
Yep.
And of course, it could be anywhere here. It's probably is that in a Word doc? No, I'm gonna have to locate it. You know,
yeah. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a really cool. It was a really cool. I loved it. It had a lot of travel, like interdimensional travel spells and high level spells that you were able to. And she wanted it. So she the one who had taken Ravalantar had his fun, and that's all he cared about, really, I guess.
Sure, yeah. Well, what I would like to do is go and visit Elminster and say, "Hey, do you have a spare copy lying around? This lady wants it," and then I'd say, "And you could even deliver it to her in person, you old goat, you."
That was fun. We had a fun time with that one. It was a little difficult recovering it, but. I always like to throw the comedy in there, especially when we get Fritz Winchester and Ravalantar together, which is kind of scary. So, because anything can happen with a tickling feather. Absolutely. So, I think it was Rav with a jacket and nothing else. Fritz and Erebus had to look away, put some pants on. Yes. So, but that was it came right to my mind. I know I got to find that a GIF of from that Revenge of the Nerds when that was perfect. Yeah, so we have fun when Ed plays in the campaign, which is every couple months, everyone, and just noting that he's 9th level now, so he gets some good spells. And most of the people in that adventuring group are below him because he's a straight level Greyhawk mage, and everyone else is multi-class or whatever. So Tony's character is a 7/8 mage. Yep, there. Jeremy's chuckling too.
Hey.
Jeremy.
All of my fellow party members are more effective in battle than me, because Jay just makes sure everybody has a globe of invulnerability or a minor globe and is out of range of my spells. So in order to get to them, I have to place myself in peril.
Yes.
Whereupon I am the paper tiger of the party because of my hit points and general klutziness. So I will have to say that Tony in particular, but also Jeremy and everybody else, but Tony in particular does a lot more battle and running around and hurling spells in extremis, and closing on monsters and duking it out with them one by one, and I'm sort of sitting there going, damn, I'm out of my one useful spell because Jay soaked it off me right at the beginning. So you know the old Christopher Reeve Superman movies. I'm Clark Kent. Lois. Lois. That's me most of the time. So please do not get the impression that Ravalantar is this dashing, hardened adventurer. He's basically going, "Oh, this is another fine mess we've gotten ourselves into." You know.
But you've never been put down below negatives.
No.
You are not. Unlike unlike Nixolia's died, and also Jeremy's character has died as well, his priest. So we had some
Yeah,
deaths.
but that was because they were being heroic.
Well, that's true. That is so true. Yes, and that's part of the fun of the game. And we had someone, like I said, on Friday, perish, got turned into an ice statue. But fortunately, we had a wild mage there that Darling plays, but unfortunately, she turned Rob's character from a male to a female with a surge. But that's the stuff that happens in the game. So
what is this unfortunate?
Yeah, what's another opportunity?
Yes, exactly.
There you go, Rob. Look at it that way. Ed says it's an opportunity.
Your horizons were broadened. I think that's what we call it when we're being, polite these days.
Jeremy, would you fumble 4 times? 4 at least. It was crazy stuff. Yes. Very heroic. Have I said anything about this hour about stabbing a dragon in the eye? No. Well, let me. Yeah. All right. BB had a question for you. I gotta find it. Scrolling back. All right. Ed, did the gazetteer for Mystara, Halflings, 5 Shires, what parts would you recommend for Forgotten Realms or Greyhawk?
Oh, okay. So when I wrote up the 5 Shires, the 5 Shires has interesting stuff in it, like Black Flame, which I didn't create. It was already in the game. It was the cool magic item that the halflings get, Black Flame. It already had halfling defenders in the game, the subclass. One of the things that the known world, as it was then, Mystara, as it later became, was lacking was a breadbasket. The problem is all the places were interesting places to adventure, which meant nobody was growing any crops. There was nothing to eat.
Oh my God.
So I thought, okay, I'm going to do the 5 Shires as the land of grain, barley, and so on, and mixed crops that feeds everybody else. So it's a bucolic little area of natural beauty, of ranches, of farms, of little mills, tiny little farming communities with stone arch bridges and roads, and where the halflings just create the paradise that everybody else should be wanting to live in, which makes it very boring as an adventuring thing, but it means you can put it just about anywhere where you actually want to have farms that produce food. And you could actually, if you wanted, just file off the serial numbers. And by that, I mean, if you don't want it to be halflings, they can be humans. In the same way that if you look at The Lord of the Rings, the Shire is where the hobbits come from, but it's really the English countryside that Tolkien saw being destroyed by the Industrial Revolution. So, I mean, if you want a nice bucolic place where happy people farm in a happy small amount, and if you're familiar with the Disney film Ichabod and Mr. Toad, and out of it, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, so that animated movie, and you remember how that begins and ends with the narrator talking as we go down into the book, which becomes a map, and we zero down into this place, Sleepy Hollow, where the Van Tassels live and so on and everything. Think of that sort of countryside. Put it anywhere you need in your campaign.
I once was up there for a up in Sleepy Hollow, New York, right across the Tapestry Bridge, right? I'm up there, and I'm up there at an architectural firm, and I'm like, I'm right here. I might as well go check it
Right.
out. And the bridge
Yeah.
is like 10 feet long. I'm like, what the hell's this? This is the bridge?
Yeah. That's the
This
bridge.
is a bridge. It's like there's no water underneath it. I was like, oh my God. I was like so disappointed. I thought it was going to be like this old rickety bridge that, like carriages could go across it a day or whatever. And it's like, oh man. But yeah, but it's cool. It's cool. But just like
Yeah.
lore and story do not meet up with reality a lot of
That's
times.
okay. I remember seeing Plymouth Rock,
Oh my gosh.
and you line up,
Look
and
there.
then some lady in front of me says, "It's just a rock. We
Yeah.
lined up to see a rock." Well, what did you think, lady?
Yeah.
But
I know. You look down into that thing and it's down there and you're like, what? Okay, well,
there you go.
that's it.
Yeah.
True, man. That's a good point. All righty. We're getting near the 2 more Greyhawks going.
Yeah.
Right?
2
She did
more.
4
Yeah.
Greyhawks. Unbelievable, Ed. Thank you. All
No
right.
problem.
Pick your next one and let's
Okay. Sure. For our next Greyhawk adventure hook, let's head to the village of Blackwell in the Gold County in
Okay.
southern Furiondi, where, again, consult Anna's marvelous Furiondi 2 map. Find the free city of divers, cross the near div,
Got it.
heading due north to Walthane.
Yep, right here.
Take the road west of northwest towards Lebernon, and halfway there, at the bridge, find the side trail northeast of Blackwell. Okay, so we found Blackwell. There we are. Acquaint yourselves now with 2 feuding local families, the Calasters and the Whole Ones. And Calathters, Calaster. Plural. I just uttered the plural, but you leave the S off. And the Whole Ones, and Holwund, Holwund. Numerous brawling yokels who are big names locally and unknown elsewhere, but their strivings to outdo each other are driving plot arcs that can be long-lasting prime movers in an ongoing campaign. The Whole Ones tend to be big, brawny, but also fat, coarse, heavy drinkers of simple jests, huge and often broken noses, and loud speech. The Calasters tend to be sharp-nosed, smart, sour folk of quick wits and cutting tongues that get them in trouble a lot. One current Calaster, a shy 4th son of the current patriarch of the family, was trying to improve family plows and seed hoppers to sow crops faster and with fewer folk doing this work. The son is Yartel Calaster, Yartel, Yartel Calaster, and his father, the patriarch, is Obdrel Calaster, Obdrel, Obdrel Calaster, an arrogant, miserly man who's not to be crossed. Yartel's problem is that he literally stumbled upon an as tall as his hand, carved unicorn head statuette he liked, without realizing it was the phylactery of a lich. Set it by his work table as a keepsake and fell under its influence. Without realizing where this is coming from, he's been writing down wizard spells new to Furiondi, or rather, so long lost that they're new to almost everyone in the Flaneas of today. Yartel is no wizard, and although he's clever enough to know he's creating spell scrolls, he's setting down strings of instructions, incantations, and glyphs whose tracing with fingers will provide somatic components of spells. He has no idea how, and he can't use what he's creating. His father Obdro can't either, but he knows wizards and sly, energetic merchants such as Funkle Flashkull, the mouth of Furiondi South, to sell them to, and controls family vaults where the scrolls can be safely stored in the meantime. The problem is, the 3 sons older than Yartel are all spendthrifts who are looking for money anywhere, and the eldest, Melandor, knows some wizards who would buy such scrolls. he managed to steal one scroll and sell it to that mage, Lashar Karun, who talked unguardedly in a tavern when drunk one night. So now word is spreading among wizards, thieves, sages, and even minstrels talking in other taverns all across Furiondi that new spells can be had from the Calaster family. So, thieves, assassins, would-be kidnappers, and even hired bands of adventurers are all descending on Blackwell to get those spells. They don't yet know that kidnapping Yartil and his statuette might get them a source of ongoing scrolls. Those who are thinking of kidnapping are thinking of grabbing Melandor, or his mother, or any lady friend he might have, or Obdril, to try to put pressure on the family. The problem for all of them is that the Calathers have been spooked into sending their trading agents, their servants, far and wide to try to hire adventurers, such as, of course, the player characters, and fast. They need bodyguards to fight for them, and the reason they know they need them isn't all the wider world folk who have suddenly found out about the spells. It's the behavior of their rivals, the Whole Ones, who have suddenly, spurred by offers of 3,000 gold pieces for any spell scroll delivered intact, started trying to break into the Calaster's sprawling down-at-heel mansion every night and themselves kidnap any Calaster they can find on sight. To make things just a trifle more complicated, the matriarch of the Calasters, Obdril's shrewest wife, Eutune, and by the way, that's Eutune, Eutune, was just about to depart on her annual foray to the Free City of Divers to go shopping. A foray that involves at least 6 days of idling on a hired luxury ship on the Nurdiv, a ship known as Chansar's Chalice. She knows Melandor's up to something and is thinking of taking him along with her and all of her maids and bodyguards, whether he wants to go or not. She wants to question him alone, if nothing else, to find out just what by all the gods is going on. Nor is the Lich an uninterested player in all of this. Immobile, unless someone starts carrying that statuette around, the Lich, an ancient wizard by the name of Narkali Hook, wants to keep his origins mysterious. He can mind speak for about 20 feet out in all directions from the statuette, selectively, to one awake and sentient being at a time. Selectively meaning if 5 people are standing together, the Lich can pick just one, and the other four of them will be unaware of his mind reaching. He can speak to persuade, and can also cast effectively unlimited suggestion spells. Narakalihook wants to be taken to where he can dominate and eventually control a wizard of power to be his servant. And eventually, after he gets the right spells written out and then cast, that wizard will be his new body. He will subsume the mind of whatever wizard he compels, gaining their body and beginning a new cycle of life among the living. Narkalihook will without hesitation tell all sorts of lies about what he is and his intentions to get anyone within reach, including a player character, to get him to a wizard, or if a wizard, to aid him and eventually become his pawn.
I have some ideas for that right away.
Get me to the wizard on time.
No. That's beautiful. Love that one. Yeah, that's good. That's really good. So you got some petty people. Yeah, just everything is a mess. It could be it's a mess, which could be even more of a mess, which is wonderful. And that's kind of the way it should be.
Yeah. If you've ever been to a live stage play that is a British farce, like any of Oscar Wilde's stuff, where people bang out of a side room and just miss somebody who's dived under the bed. The audience sees it all. And there's a banana peel in the center of the stage, and everybody's running back and forth, and you're waiting for someone,
hit that.
That's what this is. Yes. You've got like assassins descending, kidnappers, you've got wizards, you've got aliens, and it's up to you how hilarious it is, or how slow it is, how pratfall and hilarious it is, or how quiet and menacing and slow it
Right.
is.
And all that craziness is going to get trumped one day by that statuette, which makes it even more poetic, which is wonderful. Love it. Love it. Ed's still drinking. Ed's your voice going okay? I mean, I had lost
Oh
my
yeah.
voice as of yesterday.
It
Yeah.
okay. To me, it's not the voice. It's the fact that all of this, what goes in has to come out. It's the other thing.
If you need to bio at any point, let me know.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
You see, once you empty this, you can refill it. No.
That's fine. Dr. Pepper Zero.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
everyone knows. Wednesday night I had a bunch of guests over here: Tony and Jeremy, Chuck, Cumbo, a lot of people pre-page. Stephen Chenault was supposed to be here, and he got stuck. His flight got stuck, so he couldn't make it on time for Wednesday before Page. Well, I bought him a bunch of Dr. Pepper. See, I have a case of Dr. Pepper in my house, and I drank one today. I hadn't had a Dr. Pepper in 35 years. Yeah. So my wife's like, "Do you like that?" I'm like, "It's all right. I'd rather drink a Pepsi than a Dr. Pepper, but
Right.
it wasn't bad. Not bad." So
now you see, the reason I picked this is purely because when I became diabetic, I had to find the diet, or now they have zero sugar.
Right.
They didn't then.
Yeah.
And I tried all the major colas, Coke, Pepsi, and this.
It's the closest.
And this one,
yeah,
tastes the closest to the
Original.
full on, the real stuff.
Excellent. So you can go right through that, and it'll go right. Yeah, just like anything. It's like my coffees. The two coffees I had while I'm doing this, it went right through. They're going right through me too.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So, what's up, Jeff? I hope you had fun there at Grim Sparkle. Is my friend Jeff Moore. Hope you had fun at Page, man. Thanks for sitting through our seminar there. We went I thought we were going to go 90 minutes. Questions kept on coming. We went a full 2 hours at that seminar. Myself, it was myself, Anna, Joe Block, and Mike Neistel. Went through.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it was a good group. It was a good group on what's coming up for Greyhawk for future and past. We had some really good theoretical discussions. So, all right. So we're at one. We got one left to go. Anything else anyone wants to know about from Ed before that, though? Any other questions? I got it on deities and some other background information. Also shared what happened with Ravalantar's rescue. Don't know yet what we're gonna don't know yet what we're gonna do at Gary Con. I haven't I know I gave some fake title. They're like, get your events in. All right, here's a title.
Yeah. That's what we always do.
Yeah, I gotta wait and see if I don't know if Eric Menge's going or not. Because that'll be a huge determination. If Eric's gonna be at Gary Con this year or not. So I gotta figure that out. I don't know if Eric Boyd's gonna be there or not either. I don't think so. I was glad to see him, like I said, at Page. It was really, really nice to see him. But we'll work on that. Fundraiser event first. So any other? I discovered stevia for my coffee. No, yuck.
Yeah. You see, folks. That's the thing. All of the alternatives to sugar have their own different tastes.
Yeah, they do.
And depending on our personal body chemistry or what other medications we're taking, they can taste terrible or okay or great to different people. So yeah, we try all of the various sweeteners, and it's a crapshoot because it's different for all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. Now I remember the days of that. Oh, saccharin. Oh yeah, drinking a ton of that. Oh, it causes cancer. Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Ugman, those organized play at Greyhawk 1 seem to be very popular. Good. For Greyhawk Adventures League, that's great to see. What's the timeline for the Shadow Var taking over Sembia? I started reading this novel, and it shocked me that Sembia had been so corrupted.
Okay. That is when the City of Shade, Sultansar. And if you want all the dating, go online to the FR Wiki and type in Sultansar. Or type in Shade. It will redirect you to Sultansar. Except Shade is also the being, the type of being. But If you get the City of Shade, it's Sultansar, and it will tell you when it appeared, and will tell you when it was destroyed, 1487. And during the time in between, they hired mercenaries and they took over Sembia. They they out-hired the Sembians for mercenaries and took over the country. And of course, the moment Sultansar was gone, their mercenaries, realizing the surviving mercenaries, realizing they wouldn't be paid, just looted and pillaged everything they could and got the hell out, because they had oppressed this population of wealthy people, and they could see that the wealthy people would want revenge, so they got out. So Sembia got back on its feet. That's when the Shadowvar were in there. It's that. And it's all part of the Sundering series, which culminated in my book called The Herald, which was the final novel of the Sundering. So that's when the Shadowvar were there. And the dates are right in that entry, so you can see them all. So in the realms, right now, the realms are dated at 1501 DR, and I believe 1487 was when Sultansar crashed. So that's your dating. The Shadowvar would have cleared out within 2 years of that. There would have been fighting all over Sembia as the mercenaries looted and pillaged, and to see the Sembians who managed to get out wanted their lands back, and they would hire other mercenaries to protect them and be their bodyguards as they came back to take their lands. So they'd be fighting the other mercenaries. So for a while there, the country was like skirmishes from one end to the other. But then by 1489, they're all gone, and then Sembia starts rebuilding.
Cool, Master Dungeons. Where are you running those? It seems like they're pretty popular. The Living Greyhawk, a new Living, it's not Living Greyhawk, but the new Adventures League, which is cool. I'm glad to see that. Yep. But Living Greyhawk is that's another quick question there, Ed. All the different writers, Greyhawk's got an issue with Living Greyhawk not knowing who owns what or whatever, and how do you even decide what to use and what not to? And what is legally allowed. So what I was told was, don't use anything in Living Greyhawk. It's not published in an official publication like a Dungeon or a Dragon or some kind of book that's official, right?
Yeah.
And that way, you're good. You're good. Because you're allowed to, in new writings, you're allowed to use old writings to reference and all that. So, I mean, any other advice there? I guess it's the best thing to.
Yeah. The problem is, in the past, when we started the RPGA back in the dim, distant past, and all of the early members were staffers at TSR, I was the first non-staffer, and my card number is 20. Okay, so the 19 before me were all people in-house. Okay, everything there was official and canon, not to put too fine a point on it. And ever since, TSR and now Wizards of the Coast has vacillated back and forth. Is everything in the RPGA official, canon, or not? And they usually end up saying not. And then somebody says it's canon again, and then everybody else says it's not.
Right.
And then along come the Adventurers League, and I think the first thing they said was none of this is canon.
Right, and they reset it back to an earlier date anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's what we're talking about. It's Eric. Pick Mangie's brain. He read the first adventure for it. So, yeah, it's all good. I think but what I'm talking about is what can be used and what can't be used in a publication where you're referencing something official. And plus, if we're doing a 576, that was all 591 anyway. But there's stuff in there you may want locations of what that didn't exist, and other publications that you want to use because the town just doesn't appear all of a sudden. It should be there all the time, and that's what Anna's done on her maps. A lot of this stuff is like she had to figure out what was there 15 years earlier and all. And that's kind of the weird things you get into. So yeah, with it, it's kind of it's a mess. It is a mess.
Well, we're going to touch on that in this last adventure hook.
Oh,
We're just in a one local, not as a general framework or epistle,
right.
but
Okay.
one local instance of it.
Okay. Well, here we go. The seventh
Okay,
one.
our third and final.
Fourth and final
Um,
Greyhawk, right?
yeah, but our third adventure hook.
Right.
Okay. Okay. So now we're going to the Wild Coast, and now we're looking at a Greyhawk local hero. Okay. Specifically, we're going to the ranches. Again, Anna's maps serve us well here. About 10 miles north of Castle Sulafreit
Mm-hmm.
and about 30 miles north of due west from Safeton. Castle Sulafreit is a damaged, one-third ruinous stone fortress thanks to many sieges and stormings, and is currently in the hands of the Kondar, Khondar, hardened veteran mercenaries led by a self-styled baron. The baron's name is Skorl Narasker, Skorl, surname Narasker, Skorl Narasker, who's calling himself the Baron of Wyvern's Run after the nearby river. This local hero is Ravana Tallshoulder, a human eldritch knight. She's formerly a career adventurer who fared all over the Flanaess, mostly under the pseudonym Longknife, but she recently retired back to the countryside of her humble birth, which was in a family of financially struggling back country ranchers and foresters. She now skulks about the countryside by night, leading a band of hardy adventurers who, like her, are, quote, sneak thieves with long, sharp knives, unquote. They sleep rough in dozens of caves and ruined cottages and improvised shelters, a different resting spot every day, and they go about ambushing and stealthily slaying orc raiders, trying to keep the boldest of the Pomage from pushing further into the holdings of Safeton. Unlike rulers who think of territory to hold and patrol or rule, she thinks of sentience moving about a landscape, and her best chances to catch foes unawares are when sleepy or weakened with poor escape routes. She also seems to sense, or just become aware of due to good scouting, when traps are being prepared for her. An easy target, but nearby, a lurking stronger secondary force waiting to pounce when she's engaged with the first target. She'll either patiently withdraw and not fight at all, or she'll go and strike elsewhere, or she'll attack the secondary lurking force, not the bait. However, she's getting tired, literally worn out from lack of sleep and constant tension, and she won't mind reinforcements in the form of player characters. She won't trust the PCs completely at first, so she may use them as decoys and blunderers to spring traps rather than as allies integrated into her battlefield plans. Ravana was once strikingly beautiful, but now is more of a battered veteran in looks. Raven black hair, hacked short so it won't get in the way, ice blue eyes, and white sword scars across her face, one of which gives the left corner of her mouth a permanent upwards quirk, as if she's smirking or half smiling. She's of middling height, visibly at the older end of middle age, and she has muscular arms and shoulders from years of sword swinging. She wears motley plate armor taken from various fallen foes and allies that she's painted with brown mud mixes to keep it from gleaming, so she looks very down at heel. And she doesn't care a whit about that, nor about what you think of her. Her manner is quietly confident and patient, even cynical, not arrogant or take charge. She thinks most orcs are better ventilated, as in, slice into the hot exterior and let the blood and guts spew out. However, she's run away to live and fight another day above else. No heroic last stands for her. Last stands are for idiots, she says. Dead idiots. Player characters will likely encounter her as an out of nowhere whirlwind rescuer anywhere in the countryside, where the expanding Pomarge meets the holdings of Safeton. She will then depart as swiftly as she came, but assign at least 2 scouts to watch PC movements from afar, seeking to use them as a lure or a blundering into things obstacle for other orc raiders in the new future, so she can pounce on those orcs and then swiftly move on. The specific adventure PCs might get drawn into, where they will have to decide to fight with her or against her, is their stumbling upon and subsequent exploration of a roofless stone cottage at an overgrown, abandoned remote ranch that turns out to have been the home of a long-dead priest of Heronius, the Iridian god of chivalry, justice, honor, war, daring, and valor. There's a stone in one corner of the cottage floor that lifts up to reveal a secret way down into a tiny cellar, and the PCs will readily see this because the stone has been lifted aside by someone, the priest himself, who was killed at that moment. His skeleton lies atop the cellar opening, head down into it, and a broken off spear blade lodged between the 2 floor stones, so it stands up among his ribs. Down in the cellar are some moldering things that were likely once spare clothes and vestments of Heronius, but also what Ravana is seeking and the PCs will also value. A foot-long treasure chest, so a tiny thing, containing 7 stone holy symbols of the god, carved lightning bolts clutched in stone likenesses of human right hands. If any of these stone symbols are placed in contact with the flesh or bone of a dying or recently killed person, they will flare into greenish radiance and then melt away, acting as a true resurrection on the creature they're in contact with. Without any other material components needed, nor the affected creature's name or 1 hour casting time, none of that. They just work. In the wake of some recent saddening losses, Ravana wants these potent holy symbols to have a means of rescuing the adventurers she leads from future calamities. She will honestly tell the PCs what the symbols do if they ask. She and her band will come upon and surround the PCs if they're in the ruins of the cottage. If the PCs haven't disturbed the skeleton and entered the cellar, Ravana will do so without hesitation. If they have, she wants the symbols if the PCs have possession of them. She might bargain if the PCs say and do the right things, but that's a might. And of course, note to Dungeon Masters, scale Ravana and her adventures to be a few levels higher than most of the PCs.
Yeah.
Bingo! There you go.
And I have 2 groups of narwhal headhunters that would fit perfectly into.
Ta-da!
Perfect right into the area. And I did not tell Ed to do that either. So there you go. She's you may have her with an ally maybe of Turin Deathstalker as well in Safeton. You think about it because they have the same end goals, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That would work as well. Really good.
she's really defending right along the Wyvern's Run and just north of it, where that white road is been drawn.
Yep.
That space in between them. That's where she grew up as a little girl, and she's really defending that against the orcs.
Right. Absolutely.
She doesn't care who rules in Safeton. I mean, she'll work with them, but she doesn't really care. It's like, this is my homeland. Get out of here, you bastards.
Right.
You know.
And you get the cockatrice riders nearby too, which will always throw in a little. And if you know my game, truce has almost been broken multiple times between Pasquarel and the Lord Mestrine and the Narwhal Headhunters. We have a 3-way detente right now going on, and it's been tried multiple times to be broken. Always someone is scheming. So there you go on that. What an excellent! My gosh, Ed, that is so fantastic. So we got 7 locations, persons, stories, plot hooks, 3 Forgotten Realms, and 4 Greyhawk in that. All of that. So I know we went through a lot of them. Anyone have any questions about any of those? Great discussions that Ed has put together. forgot to take notes. Well, Jagger here, the Greyhawk ones, we'll make sure that they appear in a future publication too. Great stuff. Hey, McLeod, thank you. Yeah, good Heronian lore is always a good thing to have. 100%. 100% there, Curtis. Always fantastic to have lore that ties into very popular, well-known deities. And, we have a lot of Heronius worshippers, including, of course, this streams are always up. It'll be up on Twitch for 90 days and it'll be on YouTube forever. I mean, my YouTube has every single stream I did for a long time up there. So, yep, absolutely. So you can't miss it there. So, wow, Ed, what great work, man. Proclivity is amazing. And you just the good. So there, we were talking about this. Someone also during the during our seminar yesterday, Paige asked the following. Said, "What do you do if you come across a little tidbit in a publication somewhere? Like, do I need a paragraph?" And I gave him examples of stuff that I had done. I mean, I did an entire 24-hour stream setting and a whole history background for the Hateful Wars off of one paragraph in a book,
Yeah.
in the original folio. And then same thing with Tommy John Kelly, who did the entire book that was fiction on it. He wrote, and then I did all the adventures and all the ancestors that took place in different scenarios for it, or areas like this as we come over, just to show that, like, Carl Sargent did some great things and did a ton of plot hooks. And and I talked about Varnafane specifically during that discussion. There it is, right there.
Yeah.
4 of those 6 axes in my campaign over the last 30 years have been discovered. There's still 2 missing. In fact, Astrolier's character had a vision during an adventure you were on, if you remember, Avalanche, when he did all those dreams, that one of them was in the Lortmel Mountains awaiting his location for him to locate. So long term, Easter eggs, so
yeah.
And that's what everything Ed has done here for you is the same thing. Take it and run with it however you want.
Yep, and the files are in our Discord where we talk to each other.
Awesome, man. Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you so very much. So, any other questions for Ed here? As we're running right around 100 people for most of the stream, which is awesome, and thank you so very much.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah, we're hanging. This is a lot of fun. Lots and lots of fun.
We're missing Anna, but
we are missing Anna. But it's good that she. I haven't talked to her, so I haven't heard. With the weather, I don't know if she got delayed so long last year. She didn't get home till the middle of the night. I don't know if that's the same thing going on with today. Jeremy, I don't know if you've heard, Astrolier, if stuff has been delayed all over the place, but that kind of stuff happens a lot.
Yeah. By the way, if you're flying, don't leave your car in Toronto's airport, because if you're delayed, it's $500 a night for that parking garage. So,
oh my gosh,
yeah,
really?
Yeah,
man. That New Deal's book will be the first one out too. So, yeah, absolutely. All right. So, last ask for questions. Last ask for questions. I'm looking through here.
This has been so much fun.
It's been a blast tonight. Look at that. We're 2 hours 45 minutes already. So
yeah, surely you guys have some questions. Come on, this is or whatever. It's all right.
Let's attempt for an egg question there. Luckily, I never fly out of Toronto. That's right. You're here. Yeah. Well.
Yeah. By the way, yes. Fly out of anywhere else. I recommend you fly out of Rochester. Drive across the border and fly out of Rochester for us Canadians. For all you Americans, fly out of Rochester, rent a car. It's so much easier.
So, Ed, what's the con schedule like? Is your next one Gary Con?
I think so. I think I'm Gary Con. Oh, it's just a nightmare this year. What have I got here? Gary Con, Anime North, Gary Gygax Con, Egg Con, Gamehole Con, Gen Con, Grand Con in Grand Rapids, Labor Day weekend, or the September 4th to 6th or whatever. Yeah, so, and I think that's it, except for local stuff. I have lots of local charity stuff. And Phantasm in Peterborough, you local folks up in Ontario, yeah, I will do Anime North. I can't do Breakout Con because I will be at GaryCon. I can't do CanCon in Ottawa because I will be at Gamehole Con, because all these things conflict. And in between, I have to, there's the occasional movie shoot because I'm so beautiful.
But the good thing is, it looks like you're good for the fundraiser.
Yes, looks like I'm good for the fun.
All right, you will help us raise another couple thousands of dollars, Ed, by just being there. So
I will dance, I will sing, or you can donate money to make sure I don't sing and don't dance and don't take my fishnets off.
That's funny. Yes, Abominations Abound. I'm assuming now that Paige is over, Anna will get me Anna's going to get me the yeah, we're looking forward to seeing Ed at GaryCon. Yeah, Jeremy. But before that, we're going to have the St. Jude fundraiser event. So I think you'll be playing with him in that. We'll have as many 2-drink minimum people as we can on that group. And like the mini's here. I got to send this out tomorrow to Mike Disney, right? The mini for that adventure is here, and I'm not gonna. Yeah. So there you go. Ed's, of course. It'll be fun. I already have the adventure because it's already written by Frog God. So the Frog God. We're gonna, the biggest abomination you can have. And there's a lot of other things. Ever Mysterious Tim. Does Joe Black have his new book prototype at Page? Yes, he had a whole bunch of new books. All of them, old and new. He went over a whole bunch of stuff. Yes. Like I said, I didn't stream it, but he did. He had a lot of new book prototypes there. 100%. Also, new book prototypes from Cannibal Publishing as well. Any juicy bits on Loradune No Tin, the novels? That place is so intriguing. Ed, did I sell that right? L.R. Loradune? Varl, did you spell that right? Luraladon. Ed, Laurel-Dune.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Doesn't ring a bell, Varl. There you go. No one. The After Death Way Station Wolfgar went to.
That's a Bob thing.
Oh,
that's Bob Salvatore.
That's an Ari Salvatore. There you go. So it's not
okay. What's the spell? How do you spell it again? Let me just
Lruladon. And then it says No Tin, the novels. Roll.
Nope.
IRUL, just a rule. IRUL. Moose says.
I got nothing here.
Iruladun. Just EYE dash RU dash LA dash DON. Well, there you go.
EYE?
Yeah.
EYE?
Starts with I. Yeah, it's okay if we can't find it. It's not yeah, IR, yeah, I dash
IR
ULADOON. Yep.
ULADOON.
IRULADOON.
There we go.
Okay. There we go. Yeah.
A quasi extraplanar forest. This is the FR Wiki. Located on the eastern bank of Lac des Nechires in Icewind Dale, in other words, in the 10 towns. Created by Myliki specifically for her apparent chosen Trista Warden in order to house and instruct his friends, the companions of the hall, prior to the reincarnations. Okay, so this was the thing that featured in the novel, yes. Okay, when TSR jumped the timeline ahead 100 years, and all of Bob's companions of the hall, except the drow and elf-related, and the dwarf, were going to die of old age. This was his way of reincarnating them and keeping them around as characters. They went to this Myliki forest. I had completely forgotten its name. So when I was being asked, I'm going, huh? What the? Okay, so this is from The Ghost King, Gauntle Grim, The Last Threshold, The Companions, those novels. And there's a short story called Arula Dune in the collected stories, The Legends of Drizzt. And it was originally in Realms of the Dead, the anthology,
Okay.
fiction anthology. I had just totally blanked on the name of the forest.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Okay. So, Mylekia created that lovely little wood, and it's where people wandered. It was the way station, as you say. Yeah.
So it's basically going into the Feywild almost.
Yeah. Before there was a Feywild.
Right.
In the realms.
Exactly. Exactly. Right.
See, we novelists always lead the way.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess he had an issue. He's like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? What's this going to do to my books?
Bingo.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. He said, as I recall, he said, you idiots, you're killing the goose that lays the golden eggs, you idiots. But, and then he thought, okay, we're going to rescue our characters. So I put mine in blue flame items, Mert, Volo, and they lasted that way. The Chosen lasted because of Mistra, and everybody else died of old age during the century time jump. And this is how Bob rescued his, because he says, I'm not finished telling their stories. I'm in the middle of a GD book arc, a multi-book contract in which I have to finish the series. What are you doing, you idiots? You could compare that to somebody who decides to repair the engine of their car while driving down the interstate at 100 miles an hour. It's not the time to do it, folks.
No, it's just like, wow. Do we don't want to call anyone out, so we won't ask who did that, but someone did.
Someone did that. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's water under the bridge, but that's where Arula Dune came into.
Okay.
And where was it based on? Bob has not told me, but I'm going Brigadoon, Brigadoon, Brigadoon in my mind.
Okay. Yeah, I have not touched any of the books on Drizzt daughter yet. I mean, I don't know. Haven't read any of them.
Yeah, well, you see, the thing is, you only have a finite amount of time.
Yeah, I just don't have time.
And you're on a reading journey. And I'm going to use audiovisual aids, folks. See this behind me?
Wow. Yes.
This is the to be read pile right now. Some of them are game books down here. And I've finally got a copy of Builders of Baldur's Gate, the board game. But all of that stuff is to be read.
Oh my gosh, Dad.
And I have to build the bookshelves for them in the next room because they are sitting in my fire escape route. I mean,
no.
That's okay. I can get out of the room the other direction.
That's good to hear. We don't want any disasters occurring.
There are 400,000 books in this house.
Really?
Yeah. This is my office, not my library.
Right, and we've seen that picture. Yeah, just use teleport. Jeff said, more like a dimension door. You don't want to go into solid rock there, Jeff. On that, yeah. Dimension door a little bit there.
You know, if I ever had millions of dollars dropped on me by a benevolent game company, just saying, I would build a 1-story high, because I'm old now and don't want to do stairs, library, about an acre in size. And I would finally put all my books and games in order on the shelves the way I wanted them.
Oh my gosh.
I
have those great steps, ladders up that spun all through the whole room.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, it look awesome.
Yeah. Library ladders, you bet.
Yeah. Oh my
God. I have a very, very loving son-in-law and his lady friend who built me a new gaming table that's even bigger than the old one. It now fills my gaming room. It is huge.
Awesome.
And I have been shamelessly using it for the last few months as I do that Viking city for Fate of the Norns. Mm-hmm. I have been laying out the original master map on it. And as I complete a city block, I take a poker chip and drop it on the city block to tell me, oh, good, I did that block. Because the map is huge. It's about 8 feet long and about 4 feet wide.
Oh my God. That would be half my game table. Wow. Holy jeez. How many blocks is it?
I think
400?
no. There's I'm trying to remember. I think we're around 200, but
That's still a lot. And now you're
yeah.
detailing it entirely.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Every city
gosh.
block is getting detailed. Geez, there's no way I can. There's no way I can show. Oh, wait a minute. What do we
That's
got here?
insane.
Okay, so this is the overview book.
Right.
So
Yes.
there is a typical city block. You
It's
see
just
the little
one.
white arrow there? It tells you where it is in the
Right.
city.
Right. Yep. Yep. You were
And
here.
yeah, and there's the city block. That's a very simple one by the docks. It's
Oh my
mainly
gosh.
warehouses rather than books.
And every
And then
building's detailed.
every building is detailed, and each building has an NPC with a dirty secret, so you can blackmail them. Social combat, it's called in this game.
Oh my gosh.
A proclivity and a characteristic. So I begin with a description of the character. This is what they look like. I then tell you your dirty secret that you can get a hold over them if you ever learn it. I then say your proclivity. Here's what they're interested in. Like if you happen to be telling stories of the Fae, they're interested, or they hate and fear the Fae and just want you to move along. Whatever their proclivity is, and their hobbies and stuff, and what they want in life. And then the characteristic is how to role play them. They dry wash their hands. They have a high nasal voice. They go in between every sentence, whatever it is. So there, you've got a complete character you can just pick up and use in any campaign, or you can use the entire city block in any campaign,
Right.
or you can take one building. And by the way, if the building is a shop, you have a price list. If the building is an eatery, you have a menu. If it's a tavern, you have the price list for all the booze you can have, and if there's any finger food, what that costs and what it's prepared like to. So you don't have to do any world building. You just have to pay attention to the adventure.
So is that water deep sized, or is it a little smaller? It's probably a little smaller, right?
It's physically much smaller.
Okay. But
Detail wise,
yeah.
it's bigger because I never get the chance in Wizards of the Coast products because of time and space constraints. This thing here, this thing we're doing for Fate of the Norns is a labor of love.
Right.
And the other thing is, and although this is changing with the economics, Andrew was initially in his game going for this is what I want to put in the book. And so some of the books cost almost $200 to buy because I am not going to skimp on what I give you.
No, I mean,
yeah. But now we're going the other way. We're going to those perfect bound.
Yeah.
Athcliath or Aucli. Yeah. Because Gaelic has changed pronunciation. It's Dublin, folks. It's Viking rule Dublin. It's our fantasy version of Viking rule Dublin around 850 AD or around 900 AD, whatever. But that's another thing. But if you're ever at any of these cons, and Andrew goes to a lot of them, and you see the Fate of the Norns booth, just go and look at the books and leaf through them. Even if you never buy one, just leaf through it for a few minutes. Yeah. You might get an idea out of there.
He's at GaryCon every year, so there you go, everyone.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And this year, finally, we should have the box set, which has the city in it. It has
really?
The big map of the city, and these two books, which is Riverfleet, Riverfleet, this one, which is the seaward part of the third of the city with the palace in it, and then the overview book of the entire city. And then it has Mimir's manuals, which are little short books on how to play every character class. Like if you're in the city and you're, for instance, a Seath Kona, a sorceress, a witch, or if you're a Galder, or if you're a Godi, a priest, here's your little book on how to create your character and run it. And that's all crammed into the box set. So finally, after years of first delayed by COVID, then delayed by tariffs, he's finally should have box sets for you to see.
And no idea on the cost of that box set.
I don't know I have no idea. For the backers, get it. I think he's made 500 of them.
Okay.
And when they're gone, they're gone. And then from then on, they will be priced so he can afford to put all that stuff in the box. But the nice thing is you will also get a giant map, that map
Right.
that you saw a little glimpse of. And if you go to the booth, you can see that map in cloth hung up on the wall. And I have another one I carry around with me to run the games at all these conventions. But yeah,
Nice.
we're just city building, and we're city building so you don't have to.
Right, because you can
So
place this almost anywhere.
yeah. And for instance, if Jay wants to run the Free City of Altamira, he has maybe 20, maybe 30 specific important buildings and locations all detailed out for his adventure.
Right, but not all
But he's caught in the familiar trap of player characters to say, "No, we're not going on your adventure. We're going to go down the alleyway there and to the third door. What's in the third door?" This
Yeah,
is your answer to that.
that's
You
such a
know
great.
what's
Yeah,
everywhere, and
yeah.
you go ahead, suckers. The whole city's detailed.
Man, that's a great point. That's a great point. I really need to look into getting those. That would help out a lot. Really would.
Even
but-
if
yeah,
yeah, even if you just get just this, the overview book,
Mhm.
even if you only get that, you'll have short forms for every single building.
Yeah.
You just won't have the dirty secrets and stuff, and you won't have the price lists and the
Patrick
menus.
just said even the sewers.
There are no sewers because they would all flood, and you can't
Right.
have dungeon levels either, with one exception. There is one place, and you'll have to buy the books to find out where it is, in Athclias, where there's a rock plug that comes up on, because it is a ridge. That's why real world, the River Poddle came running north to meet the east-west River Liffey, and there's a ridge in the way, so it bent around the ridge when flowing and formed a swamp called the Black Pool, Doblin, the Black Pool. And that's why the Vikings stayed there, because if you come in long ships on a tidal river and you pull the ships up on the sand and then you camp, go to sleep, the tide comes in and takes all your ships away, and now you're marooned in an enemy country. But if you have a side swamp that you can pull your long ships and the tide can't take them away, and it's got a ridge, so you take the youngest Viking or the one who's in trouble, the one who misbehaved, and you tell him, "You're the sentinel. You don't get to sleep tonight. You stand up on the top of the ridge, watch for enemies coming towards us, and the rest of you get to sleep and drink and sleep and, make camp." That's why they chose Dublin.
Very cool. Just educated me on something I didn't know.
And it's called Athclias because Ford of the Hurdles, because there were 5 great roads of Ireland that connected to Tara of the Kings. And they were called Schlees, the roads. And the one that goes north-south crosses the River Liffey at the Ford of the Hurdles, Athclias,
Okay.
which is right next to Dublin. So they grew together.
Nice. What an amazing thing.
And if you are far more persuasive than I am, say you're Donald Trump, okay, and you go to Dublin today and you ask a particular bank downtown to take you to their lowest storage vault and let you in, you see, this is why I said you have to be very persuasive, because they probably don't want to. But if you go to the lowest storage vault, the lowest storage vault does not have any paper in it because it floods. It has gold bullion, which is not rusted by water and stuff in it. And if you lift the trap door in the center of the floor, a stream is rushing by inches under your feet. That's why there's no sewers, and that's why there's no dungeons, because the water table's right there.
Now, if you, I know, in Scotland, there's dungeons all over the place in those cities.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
the Highlands and
Edinburgh.
stuff. Yeah,
Edinburgh
yeah.
has all sorts of hidden stuff.
Yep. In fact, some of them are great tourist traps there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, if you ever want to not see, but see the entrance to wartime history, Second World War history in Edinburgh, go to the main train station, walk along the platform to the very end. Most of the trains are too short. They don't go that far. You will find an opening in the wall, an archway, that's got a huge rusty chain link fence across it. So you can't go through it. if you could go through it and you went along that corridor for about 200 yards and then turned right, you'd be in a massive public loo, except it's not a public loo. It was all the men's, and then there was all the ladies, and there's a catacombs there, and that's where the government would have been run from if London had been bombed out of existence.
Okay.
And that's where the crown jewels from the Tower of London were moved to, underneath the volcanic neck, the plug that Edinburgh Castle sits on, right down at the train station underneath, or all these rooms. They're still there. You just can't get into them.
Right.
But you can stand outside and point at them.
Awesome. It's just amazing history. So yeah, now you got me intrigued. It would really having a lot of city locations just redone where I could pick any of them I need whenever. Man, that's good. That's
just you get this book, or you get one of these other ones, the detailed ones, and you steal entire city blocks. You don't tell your player characters you're doing that. It's just when they want to go to a spot, you just steal a building or the entire city block. You've got this top-down map, and by the way, it's taking forever, but Andrew's also having floor plans drawn of all the buildings.
See, why he wants to put it in VTT? Be able to do that? If you
I
have
don't
the floor
know.
plans, then you can VTT it. So
yeah.
See, this is the kind of stuff we can do when we extend these Gabbins. We can just talk about whatever we want to talk about. And so, it's a shame Anna missed this one.
Yeah, we'll have to do another with it. No,
absolutely. Where we got it planned out. Lots of really good stuff here. So Ed, no cons before Gary Con, right? You're thinking
that's right.
No cons.
I have to get some writing done.
So no Genghis Khan. You're definitely not Genghis Khan. Okay.
I can't. Can't.
Right. All right. Also, then we'll have you for the fundraiser. We'll have an adventure at Gary Con as well. We'll also have our marathon talk show we do on Wednesday night at Gary Con as well, where Ed co-hosted it last year, Anna and me. If you remember Ed, hopefully you can do that again this year. That'd be awesome. And I will request to get it on the Twitch front page. Just like last year, we had 2,000 plus people watching us on that.
Wow!
So, because Lucas kind of promised me some very, very special guests. Hint, hint, hint at that Wednesday night show to talk about what's going on.
It's a good thing I don't know what you're talking about, Jay, because I can't spill the beans because I don't know.
Yes, so
I do know.
Yeah, that would be it's going to be a fun one this year. This is going to be a really great Gary Con this year. Looking forward to it.
I will just say this to gamers who have waited these many years. All good things may come to those who wait.
Yes. Absolutely. As long as our benefactors don't go nuts again and decide that we must have a Dragonborn running the Shieldlands and all the other crazy stuff. So yes. So you got it.
Now, by the way, Jay, your secret revenge, and I'm going to suggest this to Luke too,
please,
is that you write up your versions of them and make sure they're printed like somewhere on physical paper as well as on a thumb drive or a hard drive somewhere. And so if for whatever reason you can't publish them while you're alive,
right,
for whatever legal reason, they can be found amongst your papers and published as posthumous relics.
Yeah, well,
and your version will get out there anyway.
Yes, there's going to be a lot of that asking permission things that need to happen, I think.
Yes.
The powers that be know that, and we have an ace in the hole. I can't go into details on what that is. But there is one thing that's working in our favor. But yeah, that could derail us. But something's going to come out.
You still write it up anyway for you.
Yep, that's what we're doing.
And then it can always come out.
That's what we're doing.
And it's amazing some of the stuff. Whitman, Rob Kuntz, Frank Menser unearthing stuff and stuff that, people didn't know about or been forgotten for 30, 40 years.
Yes.
Get it out there somehow, somewhere, sometime.
Yeah.
But it would be even more wonderful if all of what they used to gently call the TSR worlds were all being supported with bookshelves full of gorgeous, glossy hardcovers.
Yep.
Just saying. I know
Well,
gamers who'd buy them. I'm just saying.
That's where we think that they need to go, because it's you, me, and everyone watching on here that has
Mhm.
the money to buy the stuff.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that's it. Yes.
And we are still lovers of pencil and paper physical books. I know that it's cheaper for any company to do pixels in various forms because you can change them, update them. You don't have to warehouse. You don't have to pay for binding. You don't have to buy the glue or the paper. You don't have to do the printing. You don't have to worry about, shrinkage, spoilage, whatever. But right now, the old farts like us who have the money, we still want to be surrounded by
Right.
our hordes of stuff. So
Absolutely.
make with the stuff.
Yep. And it's going. It's going.
Yeah.
So just note that everything, I'm behaving myself because as your attorney Curtis said, I am following my
exactly.
NDA. I'm following my NDA.
Oh yeah.
Well,
And
so yeah.
oh yeah. And yeah, I have a lot of friends in gaming who write for various companies and they sign NDAs and they look at me and they catch my eye and they say, "How many NDAs have you signed?" And I said, "I've lost count. It's like over 170, 180 NDAs." "Oh, so you know how this feels like?" And I said, "That you can't say a word to anyone, but you're dying to?" "Yeah,
Right.
I get it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So may you live in interesting times, everyone, and that's where we are.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll have.
Thank goodness.
We'll hopefully have a really nice announcement at GaryCon. I can say that. Alrighty. Well, both. I'm learning some stuff that I can't go into detail on. Wow, Tanaka-san, but there's some things going on that we're excited to share in the future. Right, Michael? All right, 4 giveaways. I'm putting up 5. 4. 2 Twirler Game 10R PDFs, and then the what are the books, Michael, again? Oh my God, I have them already. There's their compilation of adventures, book number 1 and book number 4. Ed's got writings in them, and you get your choice. But you need to give me whether you want Sword and Wizardry, Pathfinder, or 5th edition, and I have to have your drive-through RPG email address so I can send that to Michael. All right. So yes, there are encouraging rumors, Sparky, and a lot of it is true. Those rumors. So there you go. Last call, Xmas withdrawing. Let's get this going here. When anyone's eligible, you can, everyone here. And thanks. What a great show. This was fun. This is a lot of fun. Just you and me just BSing back and forth, and Ed coming up with some great new lore and just reminiscing and talking about the future and all sorts of things. All right, here we go. I'm going to close this out. See who wins today. Like I said, first 2, you can decide if you want the PDFs or the Troller gift certificates. The Troller gift certificates I will get to you either via Discord or Whisper in Twitch rather quickly. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Closing out the entries now. Here we go. Winner number 1, Lando. 2, Celtic Boar. All right, Lando and Celtic Boar. Lando, let me know. You want the PDFs from Frog God with Ed's adventures in them, or do you want the Troller 10s? You guys got to tell me quickly. Lando and Celtic Boar. Because that'll determine the final 2. What do you want each, guys? Let me know, please. I need a piece of paper to write on. Lando, Celtic Boar. PDF 5e. All right. Celtic, I know I have it. Just re-put it in Discord, your email for me. All right. And then just put 5e next to it. Lando, what did you put? Lando, I'll take FGG. All right. But Lando, and what? 5e, Sword and Wizardry, or CNC? I'm not CNC. 5e, Sword and Wizardry, or Pathfinder. Lando, I got a SW. Okay. Lando, do the same thing. Put your email address for drive-through in our Discord, and I'll send them right over to Michael. All right, they're done. Last two are $10 gift certificates to Troll Lord. Look at how easy this is. Then we're gonna rate in we're gonna rate into Marquee because they're playing D&D. All right, we're in the Marquee Gaming. Darling's out on tonight. Last two, Dragster and DM Chris. Get the final two $10 gift certificates to Troll Lord. All right, Dragster and DM Chris. Got it. All right, we got you. Celtic is the 5e, and Lando is the S&W. Gotchas. All right. Ed, thanks. What else can I say other
Thank
than
you.
You're so generous with your time, and we all the community appreciates it. Really does.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me. I just love hanging out here. I'm amongst friends. It's gamer time. Yeah.
We'll try and make it a fun and challenging event during Abominations Abound for you.
Oh, no. I was so looking forward to that lovely event where I recline with ladies and wine and everybody else adventures, and I just watch and eat popcorn.
Well,
That's my.
Yeah. Stay in the back and stay out of trouble a lot, and that's probably the
Oh,
best thing
okay.
to do.
All right.
But you're always looking behind you. I haven't snuck up behind you in multiple adventures.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
And you haven't done it because I keep looking. The moment I stop looking, that's when you'll do it.
Of course I will. Of course I will. That's
and you'll irony. Laugh like a drain because I stopped looking.
That evil D&D laugh I have. Alrighty, so let's rock and roll in. Say hello to Marquee Gaming, please. They'll be at GaryCon. Rachel and Mark are great people, and they are a part of our stream team. So see you all. Look at that, over 3 hours of streaming. See you all Wednesday night. By the way, topic for Wednesday night is we're going to do the history of Temple of Mental Evil, starting with Hamlet. It was decided while we were all going. Greyhawk Mike gave me some ideas. We're going to do that. We're going to go to TOEE on Legends and Lore version of it, with options of what can happen, and start at the beginning with the Battle of Emerald Meadows, work our way up through all the storylines and Nulb and everything that happens during that. So it'll be a fun discussion. Yeah, that'll be Wednesday. I may not have a game this Thursday. We'll see. Saturday morning, we'll have an abridged game. It'll run from 10 to 1 because my son's got a piano recital at 2. So we'll start an hour early on our special game. It'll be about 3 hours instead of 4, but no big deal for that. So that'll be it. Then we'll have Gabbin next week. All right. So, Ed, hang on, please, for a second. I want to talk to you about something.
Sure.
This raid rolling.
Raid.
Let's see if I do this right. Marquee. If I spelled it right, it would show up. There we go. I forgot the damn Q in it. Yeah, that was dumb. All right, wonders. 83 going in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you Wednesday night. Enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you all.
That was awesome. Make sure this goes.